I got a little bit of sleep. I'm not here for a long time. I'm just here for a good time. Babe, time it. He wants been yelling at me. I was with talking to you guys for freaking how many hours last night? Man, I swear to God. I don't even make that much money on TikTok. Hope people come through. Believe me, you. We're going to get into it. We are going to get into it. My son used my freaking headphones. And jacked them up. Fell asleep with them on last night. There we go. Let me change the background so it's more appealing. This is what I want to show you guys. This is what I want to show you guys. Welcome to the Andrea Show. I'm waiting for people to just come on in, because I've got some articles I'd like to share with you. And I'm hoping that people that were here last night can see what I'm about to tell you. You said you got one is Wizard of Oz chick flick. What? Prank? Oh, hi Prank Ranger. How you doing, sweetie? I'm not going to put my headphones on until you guys come through. What up? This is Andrea's show. I hope you guys are getting ready. I really don't like this background. It's so bright. Let me turn this off. I'm sorry, I turned off the light a little bit because I can't really see your guys' comments. How are you doing, Prank Ranger? I hope you're doing well. Just hoping that more people come through. What up? What? Why is it that when I do this, my whole family now wants me? What's going on?
My leg hurts.
Okay, your leg is fine. You'll be fine. You're gonna live through it.
I'm hungry.
Okay, listen. We went to Chili's. Did you not eat? Did you not eat when we went to Chili's?
I just ate it on.
My goodness, God. You know what? You guys should stop. You little troll. Aaron Rowe coming here with the plus size queen. Get the hell out of here with that crap. I swear to God, you say that one more time, you're out of here, man. You fired me for nothing, my friend. What, Dave? What are you talking about, Dave? You guys, listen, I can't stand it. It's just honestly, I feel like there's a play going on TikTok. Hi, guys. Welcome. I feel like there's a play going on right now on TikTok where I'm going to turn off my stats, but we're going to talk about it because this thing is too freaking bright and I can't see what the comments are saying. Hello. I feel like you guys come here and troll me. Okay, Aaron, you got to go. Aaron, you have got to go. Bye. Look, I just got on here. You guys have to understand that being a political TikTok commentator live without Oprah's money is a thing that I do for fun that is literally driving me crazy. I was up to 3 o'clock in the freaking morning with you guys talking about gun control. Can you believe that? But I got some information, so I'm waiting for a few people to come through. I don't know if Haiti's going to come by. If you guys missed it last night, I don't know what to tell you. It was really freaking entertaining. And we were talking on here for so long. I mean, I didn't even sleep till 3 hours. Ooh, look at the moon tonight. Wow. Sorry, I got distracted real easy. The moon is so beautiful here in Connecticut. I'm looking out my picture window, babe. Look at that. Wow. If you guys are in around the world, do me a favor right now. Go check out the moon. The moon is direct. I have lived in this house for over 6 years. Sorry, okay, plus size queen. Yeah, keep going on with the plus size queens. You guys are going to get blocked one moment at a time. Let me tell you something. I'm going to keep blocking you guys. So guess what? If you don't want to enjoy my show, you're gonna keep being blocked. Hey, do me a favor right now. Hi, Alan. Hello, everybody. Hello. Plus size queen. Yep, you're out. You're out of here. I don't want any trolls. Who commit? Okay. All right. I'm trying to talk to you guys. 103 people come through. I hope you guys talk to me because, I'm really sick of the freaking comments. You guys are so freaking racist. Freaking stop it already. Freaking stop it. If you are a kid on TikTok and you are that freaking bored that you can't freaking do something else with your time, I am telling you, I am the mom of TikTok. Stop trolling people with racist banter. You gotta stop doing that. And if you don't like my political views, then go somewhere else and talk to people that have the same alignment as you. I am not here to make you feel some type of way. I'm here to tell you that I love you and I want you to be safe, whether you are white, whether you are black. We are tired of our kids dying in the streets. Call me crazy eyes one more time, buddy. You're freaking out of here. I want an alliance. That's why I'm on here. I want an alliance of people in our country and around our world that are sick of racism, that are sick of these loose gun laws that aren't strict enough. Okay? Like I said, I'm not here for a long time. I'm just here for a good time. And I'm here to tell you, if you are a black person here in America, the gun is plaguing our communities. And you want to know why? Because you're not smart enough to understand that having a gun makes you dangerous to society, a menace to society. Say it with me, people. Say it with me. Word of the day, slang of the day, or sentence of the day. Menace to society. Oh my God, Andrea, I can't believe you said black people are menaces to society. Well, I have something to bring to you. I have literal facts, bro. You can't fabricate homicide. People say, well, on the FBI stats, black people are the most exonerated race in this country. Well, you're right. But we're not talking about arrest, are we? And now we're not talking about arrest. We're not talking about somebody, maybe robbing somebody or accidentally. We're talking about deaths, man. DEATH. Deaths. I've said it last night till I was blue in the freaking face and tired. I'm going to say it right now. 147 people in here. Welcome to the Andrea Show, where you guys get the ultimate truth, the whole truth. So help me God. And don't compare me to Candace Owens, because I am not somebody who's going to talk crap about my people and not have freaking solutions. That's not what I'm here to do. Yes, I am a registered Democrat. Why do I talk about politics? Because I am a registered Democrat. It is my duty as a person who votes in this country left to make people wake up and understand. And I care, I'm sorry, more so about my people, because white people have privileges. They have advantages in this country. They don't need Andrea's help. My people need my help. There's not enough black people in politics. You ever heard of the Lily White movement? I think it worked. You know who created the Lily White movement? The Republican Party. You want to know what the Lily White movement is? Look it up. Not one Republican that I've ever seen in the political realm wants to talk about the Lily White movement. The Lily White movement was a Republican movement that meant to demonize black people in politics. They don't want us in the politics. However, left and right, not just the Democratic Party, use every 4 years our problems, our issues to push votes for their elections. Candace Owens said that Democratic Party is the plantation. I'm telling you, America is the plantation. If you guys don't freaking wake up, left or right, they're all using black issues to push their political agenda. And I'm going to tell you right now, I am an advocate for gun violence awareness, because I believe that it is the gun that is plaguing the black community more than anything else in our neighborhoods. Guns over poverty. There's some freaking tribe in Africa right now, and they're living fine because they're living gun free. They're eating fruit from the earth. They're eating natural foods from the earth. They're using spears and bows. African, if you're going to call me African American, which is kind of funny because I'm just American, right? My people don't need guns. We have lost our ability to take care of ourselves because America has stripped us for centuries of who we truly are. They've divided our country so perfectly that we are fighting each other on things that will never push us forward. You know what? We're not going to get freaking reparations. I'm sorry. It's not going to happen, people. I'm telling you right now, I don't need reparations. I would love for black people in this country, especially if you're 60 and up, to not have to worry about affordable health care. I think every black person in this country, and maybe even the Irish indentured servants, and people who have family that can prove that their family were Irish. My man says he's half Irish. His dad actually told me that they are Irish people. It could be possible that my fiance's family was a part of Irish indentured servants. Maybe they should also get a reparations, but it's never gonna freaking happen. My fiance's family, they work very hard. All of them. They all have long jobs. His dad is still not even retired. He's like in his 60s. He's still freaking working. I keep trying to figure out my husband to be father is gonna retire. His mom retired, but she worked for like freaking 30 years. She worked for like 35 years or something and finally retired. People in this country at this point in day, they work and they go to college and they push themselves forward. So what are we going to do, black people? Are we going to continue to make excuses for our communities and why we're killing each other at high rates? This isn't a made up thing. Black people are killing black people at higher rates than any other race. That's what Candace Owens was saying. She said that black people were the most murderous group on this. Listen, I'm not some freaking a blue collar hunky dory black girl with freaking glasses that doesn't know what the streets are. I live right next to a town called Gunhaven, New Haven, and guess what? I have a girlfriend with 2 nephews that have died due to gun violence. I'm telling you, if you guys go to any graveyard in Connecticut, I'm telling you, probably 40% has black people that have died from guns. It's plaguing our communities. And guess what? If you're a racist white person, all you got to do is just sit back and eat popcorn and watch black people kill each other. They don't even need white people to do it because they're not even waking up because they don't care. Every black person that came here last night for freaking how many hours said this. They said, we need our guns. We need our guns. We need to protect ourselves from a tyrannical government. Where? Where is this tyrannical government? Where? It has never happened. A tyrannical government has never freaking happened. This is an ideology that you guys made up centuries ago, where you guys think that our country's gonna be taken over. What do you think? This is a freaking the Holocaust or something like that? We weren't even a part of the Holocaust. Were we a part of the Holocaust, everybody? Please tell me, because I'm pretty sure that was not our war. The only thing that Americans fought over and was the deadliest war on our American soil was a fight over keeping black people, what? Slaves in this country. We have only fought in this country about superiority and inferiority. The white race wanting to have black people as chattel. Yeah. Do you know how many black men died at the Civil War? You know how many black men died? Over 30,000. They freaking died. And you know how many black people were free and then were captured during that war and brought back down south to be slaves? Harriet Tubman is a freaking saint. And every white family that used the Underground Railroad. We needed white people then and we need them now. We need love in this country. And I know that sounds freaking whack. We need love. I grew up in Hawaii, and that's why I'm different than any black person in the mainland, is what we call it. I'm an island girl, and I grew up to realize that we are all freaking family. But there is a thing called white flight, and I'm trying to build up, and you guys can come here and tell me what you think after I'm done going off. Do you know what white flight is? Okay, let me explain to you what white flight is. And this is what I've been trying to freaking tell my people. But they just come on here. Girls I respect. Listen, if you guys know that TikTok creator Haiti, I respect her. Kitty, I respect her. She's probably not here now. I don't know if you're here. Hello, Kitty. Please come through. I think you would have came through already. I keep trying to tell people I'm in real estate. And real estate affects everything about the way we live. And I hate to break it to you, but we're only 13% of the population. So how in the heck are we going to have these neighborhoods that are completely functional if white people don't bring their money to our neighborhoods? That's what's happening. Our neighborhoods are being underfunded. Our neighborhoods, not my neighborhoods, but I'm just saying my people, black people, even Mexican, Latino, y'all are right with us. To me, I don't see the difference between Latino and black people. Y'all are right with us. Our neighborhoods are underfunded. Yes, redlining has been illegal, but the red lines never changed. No, you cannot do redlining. It is legal from 1968. But all these black people and brown people were pushed in these neighborhoods. And guess what happened to these neighborhoods? These neighborhoods are in the worst situation. They're underfunded. They're disenfranchised. People aren't moving there. So inventory is high. Do you understand? Are you guys keeping up with this? Inventory is high in black neighborhoods. So that also, plus they're undesirable neighborhoods. They're undesirable neighborhoods. They're undesirable neighborhoods. How do I further help you understand that majority of cities where black people are, for some reason, I don't know why we like to be in these congested cities on top of each other, but that's what happens because you want to know what? These developers are making money off the rents. What did you listen? I'm educating you people. Developers, people in real estate are making money off the rents. Black people today keep saying, well, we can't be homeowners because of redlining. Are you freaking kidding me? Yes, you can. The freaking bank doesn't even see you. The freaking bank never sees you. The only thing the bank cares about is, do you have the 3.5% first time home buyer? Do yourself some credit. And this has everything to do with the gun. And I'm trying to get up to there. It's a lot of information. I hope you guys can freaking keep up. There are 72% of white people in this country. 13% are black. White people have an advantage because there is more of them. If you go into a predominant white neighborhood, what does it look like? It looks pretty clean, right? I think we can all say that. It looks pretty freaking clean. And what do they have on their block? What, a Starbucks? Restaurants? Right? A Whole Foods? Right? This is just what is. If you go to a black neighborhood, and don't make me go in my car because I will take you guys on a ride and show you what I see in black neighborhoods. Burnt down buildings, multi-families that haven't even got a freaking flip since freaking 1962. It's now year 2021. The rents are low. But guess what? You get a freaking multi-family with 3 families in there, all on Section 8. Guess what? The landlord's getting freaking $1,800 a pop. Haven't even changed the doorknob in the freaking building. They don't have to upgrade these multi-families. I'm telling you, I see them on a day-to-day basis. Okay? There's a whole bunch of black people living in these neighborhoods that are what? Undesirable. And why is that? Why aren't white people living? Thank you. Why aren't white people living in these congested cities with predominantly dwelling black people? Because they're not going to live in cities that are not desirable, and especially in cities with high crime rates. And let's talk about the 1994 crime bill. There has been high crime rates in predominant black communities. We have been deemed unsafe. And I believe, and this is my last point, and I'll let you guys talk, I believe that the gun is what makes us look dangerous. The gun is the reason why police are quick to shoot before they freaking ask us for our license and registration. Please. Before, when a black man is in his car and a cop pulls him over, what does he do? What have we seen happen so many times? They draw out their gun without even freaking thinking because they see a black man with a freaking hoodie and they automatically think what? That they have a gun. So they have to draw out their gun to protect themselves because they want to go home to the freaking family. I hate to break it to you, but black men in this country have been dehumanized so much. And now people are in fear of their life on top of that because there's so much high homicidal rates. You have got to understand that once African American people focus on living in desirable neighborhoods with good school stigmas. Are you kidding me? You guys don't ask what people think about your guys' schools that your kids go to? Because I hear what people say. People think that brown schools are bad schools. I was just talking to somebody on here saying that they're in like Chicago or something, that none of the kids in the black schools could even pass a regular SAT test. We need to make education a priority. We need to make our streets safe. You know what I'm saying? We need to invest in our own communities. People are not going to invest in our communities if we're killing each other. And I have a stat that I'm going to show you. Guys, right now. And then I'll let you guys come on there. You guys see this? Let me see. It's the picture is coming. Hold on. You guys see this? This is a statistic that shows homicides disproportionately affecting the black Americans. When I told you guys that black people are killing each other at high rates, it's substantial. I don't know if you guys can see that, but I'm going to post it on my TikTok because I think the world should know this. These are homicidal rates. Black on black crime is real. And I know I'm going to sound like a conservative. I know that, and I'll let people come on here because I know you guys are going to me. I understand that there is just crime in this country. Hi, friend. I understand that. Hola, ¿cómo está? Muy bien. I understand it, and I just got it all out of me, so I'm just here to listen to you guys after this. I understand that crime in general happens due to proximity. But what I'm telling you is, if you are an African American person and you have a gun, you're more than likely, and this is what I keep saying, going to use that gun on another black person. Black on black crime with the gun is dominating substantially in the homicidal department. Now, white people, we could talk about mass shootings because y'all are dominating that. Black people aren't doing mass shootings in this country, which I think is more scary. We could talk about that. You want to talk about black on black crime? Well, guess what? Black people need to get rid of the gun so we can renew our image here in this country. And I'm not talking about black women. I'm talking about black men specifically, because gun violence in this country is dominated by what race you, well, not what race, what sex, you guys, because you guys come here and I teach you. Men dominate gun violence deaths in this country by upwards of 97%. Gun violence in this country here in America is dominated, almost taken over by men in this country. So if you want to get in control over your guns, you have got to go to the source. You got to go to men, and then you got to go to the race and figure out why white men are giving their sons freaking guns. So giving access to the guns, and these kids are going to schools and shooting them up, and why white men are killing themselves due to mental illness. And then you want to go to the black race and the black communities with associations or outreach programs and tell black people, instead of killing yourself with your guns, why don't you guys start entrepreneur businesses? Why don't you stop spending all your money on cars and start investing in houses? Stop renting and start owning. You can buy a house. Change our communities. Get involved in flipping houses. You make a lot of money. I make a lot of people money. Flipping houses. Stop buying these expensive freaking cars. They depreciate the minute that you drive down the. Be smarter with your money, black people. It's a problem. Go ahead.
What's going on?
Hey, so, go ahead.
You're on a roll right now, huh?
Yeah, I took a nap. This is what happens when I take a nap.
Good.
Yeah, I'm ready to go.
Good. hey, one thing you said that I think you can actually expand on a little bit more when you talked about proximity.
Right.
But what I focus on more is, you know what else becomes abundant in proximity?
What?
Wealth becomes abundant in proximity. Knowledge, power. If you whatever you're around, you'll attract, you become.
Right.
And I think, but it's also true. Like you're on the opposite end is true. So I think there's a lot to be said for the proximity piece of what you just said. So I wanted to touch on two things real quick, and I've been wanting to talk to you about it. I just haven't had a chance. So, you made a video, and I wanted to see what you thought about this video. Okay, so I think, what was it? You said people who voted for Trump were either opportunistic or racist. Okay.
Yep.
But everybody.
Oh wait, well, I want to add one more. I know you're my buddy. I want to add one more. They're also enablers of a rapist.
Okay, so that's
look at the dockets.
Let's
talk about Trump's dockets.
Let's talk about opportunistic first, okay?
Okay.
So everybody's an opportunist. Everybody.
But there's a difference. When you're an opportunist for financial reasons, or you're an opportunist for an opportunity for a job, I believe that people that hop on the Trump bandwagon, specifically that are black, that's what I was talking about, like Candace Owens and Kanye West last year. Remember that? And also Ice Cube were opportunists because they understand if you can't beat them, join them. And you're not just, let me tell you something. Trump is a billionaire. And he's endorsed by more white people than not. There are people on TikTok that are instantly getting 500,000 followers just because they have a red hat on and they make right-wing talking points and say, I love Trump. Instantly freaking famous on TikTok. That sounds like an opportunist.
No. Well, yeah, no.
And do you want to know? Do you want to know what Candace Owens and Kanye West had to do in order to get the approval of MAGA hat Trump supporting people in this country? They had to derail our people pertaining to the BLM. Ice cream? Can you give me some ice cream? I want pistachio ice cream, please.
Yeah, I'll take some also.
Pistachio? Thank you. They have to. Can I ask you this question? You're a smart guy. Did you not notice that black Trump supporters talk crap about black people? Can we talk about that for a second? Did you not notice? Do you guys not notice that?
I don't know if it's. I don't know if it's more. I don't know how much it is talking crap about black people is a certain mentality about it. I don't know. Like, I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying.
Did you not see that Candace Owens, who's most popular as a black Republican, does nothing besides attack the black movements and the black agenda, like liberation? By the way, our United States of America, a Pledge of Allegiance says liberty and justice for all. So if you are in politics, it don't matter if you're left or right, you should want justice. And the mere fact is the BLM movement, not the organization, was there to bring forth awareness, like Colin Kaepernick got on a freaking knee to say that we want black people to stop dying disproportionately by police. They're killing us because they think we're dangerous. I wonder why. Could be because they have the gun. And guess what? Candace Owens doesn't support the BLM. And Kanye West talked crap. What did he say about Harriet Tubman? Why do black Republicans like Ben Carlson on Fox News have to tear down black people to be accepted by white Republicans?
I don't know the answer to that, and I don't know if they like. I'm glad you distinguished the movement against the organization. And I think I don't know if they're against the BLM movement. Like, yeah, I think the two. I don't understand how.
But that the organization, you guys wanted to do that last year with me. You guys were talking about what'd you call it? The guy with all the money. You guys thought the Democratic Party. What?
You don't come with Daddy?
No, I don't. Just bring me my ice cream back. You guys wanted to talk about the Democratic Party investing into the BLM movement. So many people were butthurt that people were investing into the organization that was just pretty much carrying the freaking hashtag and paying for commercials. You guys think the whole organization was rigged? Where are they now? They're not even here. And yet people still talk crap about the BLM movement. They say we burn, loot, and murder. The BLM is burning, looting, and murdering? Are you kidding me?
So I haven't heard that.
And not only that, Majority Taylor Greene did a filibuster and trying to do a compare and contrast with the BLM and the January 6th insurrection.
Well, so I will say this when you want to talk about the two of those, and the only
George Soros, that's right.
The only time, yeah, and well, okay, so we can talk about Soros another time. I think the only time where you can compare January 6th with anything that happened over 2020 is what happened in Portland in the federal courthouse. Because I think if you're going to call what happened on January 6th insurrection, you have to call what happened in Portland with the federal courthouse an insurrection also, because they're both. If you look up the definition about disrupting the federal, I don't remember exactly what it was, but they both did the same thing. And to me, like, I don't care what it's labeled. They're both of them are wrong. So, but I think that we focus too much on words. Like, that's just me, and that's neither here or there on that point. Then one more thing I wanted to go over real quick, and I got to go to my company holiday party that I'm not too excited about going to. But so I know your stance on guns. You made it very clear. So
aren't you tired of kids dying in schools?
Of course, and I think there's ways that we can keep that from happening. But you made a comment yesterday, and I don't think you didn't go far enough with it, because I don't know if you know this statistic, because you were talking with the guy who and I was going to jump on, I just didn't get a chance to. You were talking with the guy who had his home broken into.
Yeah, that was fun, wasn't it, you guys, last night?
And you made a point about how many more guns there are than people.
Oh yeah, substantial. I think there's like 120.
Yeah,
120.
Yes.
Well, let's tell the people how many guns. There's 120. What is it? Per 100 per citizen. That's crazy.
Yes. And so, and granted, like, I think the majority of that are in the military. I think they did the total of the guns. But I'll tell you one thing that. One very positive piece about that is there has never been an invasion from another country into this country for that reason alone.
I don't think so.
And
I don't think our Russian counterparts and our China counterparts are thinking, I don't want to go to America because, those people at home, those everyday Americans, they're going to go wild on us. Your guns are not going to stop a military for coming to our country. You want to know what makes our country the most safest place? I think it's the Marine Corps. Hoorah.
Yeah,
it's the Marines that are scattered all over our country. It's the Army. Our Army, Schofield Barracks in Hawaii. How are you doing? 114th Infantry. How are you doing? Navy. People who enlist themselves in the military. Not everyday Americans.
And I don't remember. I'm gonna find the. I forgot what book I was reading, but it was talking about Pearl Harbor. And it was talking about one of the reasons they did not do a land invasion was because of and I do think, like I said, I've said this before, that when I got mine, it was pretty. I mean, I went through the background check. I did all the background checks.
Yeah.
Maybe mine just.
Why don't you tell them how many guns you have? Because I already know. Tell them what type of guns you have. Yeah. Tell them what type of guns you have.
I've got.
Let them know.
I've got my 9mm. We've talked about my AR-15 that stays in my house.
Look how he glows talking about it. Look, you love your gun. Look how you glow when you talk about your guns.
I'm not. I'll tell you the gun that I love. I love one of my guns. I love one of them.
Which one is that? What style?
It's my 9mm, but I had it done. I had it Superman themed because I'm a big Superman fan. But the
more dangerous. Wonderful.
But I tell you, I do like my Byrnas though. The ones that shoot out the tear gas.
Oh, you got tear gas now too. I mean, you just got a whole military weaponry in your house.
Well, would you rather? And it's like, if now not if somebody breaks in, but if somebody like if there's something going on outside my house or whatever, not outside my house, but I mean like in public, I'd rather shoot somebody with my my Byrna, which
You
is tear
rather
gas. Which is,
I just want you to
tear
listen
gas.
to this is what people talk like when they have guns, even though he's my friend here. He said, I would like to shoot. Like he's picking out a
I said I'd
style.
rather. I'd rather.
Oh, you'd rather
rather.
shoot.
I'd
Listen,
rather if I had
I
to.
have never in my mind thought, I might shoot somebody today.
Well, I never. Do you think that most people
Wow.
go outside and say I'm going to shoot someone today?
Well,
Like,
I think that people with guns live on guard or are too cowardly to find other ways to protect themselves and their family.
if there's other people like and you've made this argument before, like people feel like they need guns because other people have guns,
Yeah,
and
we're all locked and loaded.
and and the reason and I think I've told you this before. I did up until 2 years ago. A year and a half ago, I had no guns.
So why do you have these guns? Because you have daughters. You trying to bust a cap in somebody's knee for messing with your girls?
No, I wouldn't do that. If somebody else messed with my girls, a gun would be too easy. They're going down.
I know you're going soon, but let me just ask you this: since you were listening to the guy last night who said that he was at 16. If you guys missed it, he was 16 years old, and he decided to use his gun because 3 grown men were breaking into his house, and he ended up shooting them. He didn't. That's the first thing that he did. He didn't call 911. He didn't barricade the door. He didn't go grab a knife. He didn't scream for help. He didn't try to run out a different exit door. He didn't do anything. His first thought was to grab the most deadly weapon that he had in his house, which was his AR-15, and he shot the 3 guys, and one of them died. And guess what? Everybody here on TikTok was like, good. Yeah, let him die. He should never broke into the house.
Well, okay, so obviously you don't want anyone to die, but at the same time, I think that we don't flip it the other way. Like they took that chance coming into school. They like this is like my house. Like I don't want to shoot anyone that comes in my house, but if somebody comes in my house, especially at night, they're not coming to just rob you. They're coming to hurt you. And the response time
Isn't that an assumption?
why else would they be like, okay, even if they're just coming in my house to fucking rob me, I'm sorry, this is not their stuff, it's my stuff. And in Texas, you should know that to begin with. Like you don't. And so, but also right now, the response time, like you call the cops, you know what the response time is for APD in Austin? Because it's so
What?
What? Like 12 minutes, 15 minutes. Like
So why don't we, instead of all getting locked and loaded, why don't we fund our police officers and make sure that they could get to us sooner? Wouldn't response time, investing in that, create a more safer environment?
yes, but they took away 120 million from the APD, and now they're
Okay,
short-staffed.
so guess what? Now we need to fix. That's a solution to me right there. Instead of all America having these deadly weapons, especially AR-15s, in their home, why don't we take our resources and push them to our police stations, hire more police? Listen, my man's a correction officer, and he went to college for a 4-year degree in criminal justice. Do you know you do not need a 4-year degree to become a correctional officer? I don't think you should need a 4-year degree to be a police officer. And I don't even think you should have to go to a police academy. I think if you are a law-abiding citizen, you've never been in trouble, you should be able to apply for a job at the police station and be able to work there and be trained through the police station. What if we made it easier for people? Wouldn't that be awesome if right now so many people unemployed, if they wanted to protect their towns, they could just become cops and apply and get interviewed just like any other job? Hiring more cops, making it easier for people to protect their cities and towns and schools.
But so you talk about that piece, yeah. But I don't know the red tape or the fucking bureaucracy that does not like that piece of it, because I think that if you apply to be a police officer, you go through. I'm sure you go through the background checks and go through the training. Like that, you should be able to do that. And so,
exactly. But you have to do a lot to become a police officer. I really don't think it's an easy
No,
application process.
no, and even beyond that. So my brother's a detective here. He's been for 17 years. I remember.
Yeah.
God, I remember him getting on. Like it wasn't easy for him to get on.
They make you do like some running tests and make you do all these crazy things. Like
And,
I think that's
and some of
ridiculous. I think if
some,
you're a good person and you've never been in trouble, you don't have any felons, and you're in pretty good shape, you go through a physical exam, and yeah, obviously there's going to be some type of screening to make sure that you're mentally sane. I just think you should be able to be a cop. Why not?
yeah. And one thing before I go,
Yeah.
there obviously we have our differences, but there's one thing you talk about that I really like.
Okay. Ooh,
And
what is that?
and it's and and I'll tell you what it is. You talk about how basically if more and you gear this more towards black communities, but like if you don't
Right.
like it, then you move, go somewhere else. And even when somebody tells you like that might not be an option for them, like yeah, it is. I
Yeah.
like how you don't let that be an excuse. There's no excuse. You can
Right.
fucking do whatever you want to do. And
Exactly.
so I you don't let that be a crutch of saying go somewhere better.
Right.
And
Exactly.
and so no, I think
Because
that's-
I help people move on a day-to-day basis, white, black,
Right.
Mexican, Asian, it
Right.
don't freaking matter. And I
Right.
see what white people ask. I have a lot of white clients because I just live in a predominant white neighborhood, not far from predominant black neighborhood, but I have a
Right.
lot of clients that are white that buy houses, and they always
Yeah.
ask me, they have high standards. It's nothing to be insulted, black people. White people have high standards of where they live. They really care, from my knowledge, and I'm not talking about all white
Yes.
people. I'm pretty sure a white person doesn't mind living in the streets of Chicago in dangerous parts. I'm pretty sure there's people that don't care. They care more about the price. But most white people that I have encountered in my profession, they're willing to pay 3 times more than the average black family to be in a safe deemed neighborhood.
and yeah, and I don't disagree with that. And I think one thing you mentioned
Their
you used the
standards
word-
are high.
You use the word standards, and I think that when we talk about just that
We
word,
should up our standards.
that we need through every bit of life with our kids, with everyone, we need to raise our standards to higher than what we're doing right
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
And and it's funny.
That's
because
all I'm
I feel like-
asking black people to do. Stop making excuses. Stop saying we can't. We can't move. There's so much gun violence. I'm telling you guys, if you guys move out of these undesirable neighborhoods with high gun violence, maybe the narrative is going to change because we're going to be able to see the criminals. Because if there's only criminals, mostly in these really underfunded, disenfranchised neighborhoods, then the police, if we double up on the police, unfortunately, if you're black and you break the law, it's a freaking problem. You're going to jail. I don't care if you're black. If you break the law in this country, you're going to jail. So
Right.
get
And-
away from the criminals. Stop living
and,
next to them.
And I was on a
Whoa.
live. I was on a live the other day, and I went round and round. That it blew my mind that you talk about black on black crime, and I was talking about that, and I was told there's no black on black crime. It's just crime. I'm like, well, then you really don't get it.
But
'Cause it's
listen,
not-
I'm an educated black woman, so when I first started, I wasn't as educated a couple years ago when I first became a BLM vocal person. But the more I start looking at the stats, and I said, wait a minute, well, there is crime in general, but wow, black people are really killing each other, man. What the hell, wow, 90% of homicidal rates in this country are black people killing other black people. Why is
Yes.
anybody talking about that? Why is anybody saying that it's not white people killing us? It's black people.
And at the same time, though, and I think
Specifically,
I read this, like,
with a gun.
yes, and which obviously is not okay. But hey, but I got to.
But listen, okay, all right, bye.
Bye.
I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Have fun at the party.
All right.
That's guess what? Me and him don't always agree. I need to get tissue. Sorry, I'm getting over a cold, and I'll let you guys come through. Sorry. Oh God, does anybody have any tricks to make the mucus a little bit more looser? Any nurses in this room? Any nurses come through? Help me. How do I loosen up the mucus? All right. Listen, before I get people on here, I all I'm trying to do is get mostly everybody to wake up to understand that guns are plaguing our country. Whether you're white or black, it don't matter. White neighborhoods dominating mass shootings. That's not really black people doing that. What are we gonna do about it? Black people killing black people with guns. Homicidal rates dominated by our own people. What are we gonna do about it? I'm gonna start bringing two people at a time. Um, Hi. I'm gonna start bringing two people at a time. I want you guys to have a long time to talk, but I'm trying to give. There's like five people here, so go on ahead. Hi, Katie. Welcome back.
Yeah,
And I
I'm
think
back again.
I talked to you before. What's up? Welcome back. What's going on?
Can you
Hey,
hear
I
her?
don't know who gets to
Oh,
go first, but want to say, hey, how you doing, sis?
Hey, good. Oh, I wanted to
Hey,
share with you guys. I wanted to share with you guys this. I saved this for you guys because I usually rip up my little government checks. Thank you for those of you who don't like Joe Biden. Guess what? I got my $250. Yeah, I've been getting it. And I'm really gonna get sad when these things stop. This is called a advanced child tax credit payment. Thanks to
oh, the tax
Biden.
credit.
Yeah, if you have children in this
Yeah.
country, you got this. What did Biden do? If you have children, you got to get your early child tax credit early. It's about $3,000 or something for me. I've been getting $250 every 15th. Have you been getting your check? Thanks, Biden. Okay, go ahead.
Wait. Let me ask, because
Yeah,
I'll tell my parents about it. Do you like, is it
yeah.
like a certain tax bracket, or can anybody get it with kids?
Oh, anybody can get it with kids. Oh, I hope you
Mm,
got it. I mean, right now it's kind of a little too late because we're about to file our taxes
yeah.
in January. So unfortunately, they might have missed the train. But
But
yeah, if you
if it
had
comes
children
around.
in, if you had children, look at this beautiful check. I
Oh
kept
wait,
it,
yeah. Don't
and
share
I.
your information.
Oh, sorry. I don't think you guys can
Yeah.
see it, right? But this is what the check looks like. You have the Statue of Liberty, the United States of America. We got our checks every what? Every 15th of the month. And this is my tax money that I usually get when I file my taxes. But Joe Biden made it so that you can get it early so you can pay your bills. 250 is not a lot of money for some people, but this was my car note and I needed it. Thanks, Joe Biden. Okay, go. Let's talk. Let's talk about it. What's up, Kitty? And I just want to tell you
Hey.
that the thing that happened with Haiti. I hope she comes back and forgives me. Listen, we're gonna fight, but come back. We're like family. You know what I'm saying?
Is she
We
blocked?
fight.
She. I think she would love to
I'll,
come back.
okay, I'll
Unblock
unblock
her.
her. But she called me an idiot last night, and I was like, "You gotta go." Okay, what's up?
Okay, so let's talk about. You said that you don't believe cops should get like education or like training or whatever.
No, that what I said was that to be specific, I would like for
Mhm.
it to be easier
Easier.
for everyday Americans to work for the state.
Okay,
It
so
should be.
just in
I don't think it's
general.
an easy process. In general, you have to go through all this loopholes to become a cop or to become a security guard or to be a nurse. I think we need to make it easier for us to get on-job training instead of having to do these rigorous training and all these obstacle running courses and stuff like that. I think if you want to be a cop, you should be able to go to the police station, fill out an application, do a background check, and be hired. Why not?
Well, I think because it is such like a high level job. Like I know personally for me, where I live, we do have like volunteer cops, and like you can volunteer to become one and then go through the training. But I do know that there's also some rigorous courses as well. Like in regards to nursing, like you can't just have somebody like go in and not know what they're doing, because it's people's lives at stake. You're giving officers a gun. They need to know how to use this gun. De-escalation training, whatever. It'd be required. So I don't
You
think
don't think you can get that? You don't think you can get that on the job? And please, people in the comment section, don't act like I'm saying that you don't need education or training to get these jobs. What I'm saying is, I think it should be an easier application process. Okay, get these people who want to make a difference in this. And I'm not talking about criminals. Somebody said criminals become cops. You cannot be a cop if you have a criminal background. I'm just talking about people that don't have a criminal background, that need money, would like 40 to 80 thousand dollars a year, and want to police our. We need more police officers on the streets and near our schools to protect our children.
uh,
I think hiring more cops could help that out.
so you do believe in like increasing like officer funding then, like
Yes.
giving more money. Okay, that I guess that's I kind of disagree with that. I don't really care for cops either way because I believe in the right to self-determination. I believe that, like we talked about it earlier, I
Wow.
believe that I have the right to protect myself and with by any means.
Do you
So I
always
don't
disagree with me? You're like my little, like, you're like a little sister to me. It's just like we are
always. I gotta
constantly
pick on you.
disagreeing with each other. Okay,
Always.
go ahead. All right.
Yeah.
Well, okay. So you said your point.
Let
Basically,
him
let,
talk though.
yeah, go ahead. What's going on?
Yeah,
You're
let me
pro
interject
gun.
if I can. I don't want to
Go ahead.
interrupt. The police force, and I served 5 years in the Marine Corps myself, has always been and thank you for the compliment earlier. My head exploded when you said that. Oh, yeah. But the police has always been literally what's called a paramilitary force. They need to be roughly 10% as far as the physical and educational demands that we are demanded to have in the military, in the police, mainly because they, excuse me, Missy,
Oh, it's a
lot
kitty.
more engagement with, and using air quotes here, potential enemy suspects. You're constantly always. When I was on patrol in Saudi Arabia in the first Gulf War, you might see somebody you engage with once a week, every other patrol, not as often as doing 10 to 15, stops, and one of which might be a felony stop. So you really can't have. You've seen these cops around, and I'm from New Jersey myself, lived in LA for a while.
No.
You've seen these cops that have been on the beat way too long, and they stop at the donut shop and have 4 or 5 bear claws, and they're pushing 300 pounds. I don't want somebody like that code enforcing, and that's the point of the police department. We've decided on established set of laws in this country, and they vary state by state, city by city, municipality by municipality, that have to be enforced. And when you break those codes, you got to pay up, whether out of your pocket, some time in local county jail, or you get what we call the big chicken dinner in the military. You get to go to prison. So
Yeah.
we need to have people who are physically as well as emotionally stable and are knowledgeable about the law. And that last point, unfortunately, is a lot of these police officers are rushed through what's called the POST system, the police officer training system. And, it's the old joke. What do you call a guy who got D's only through medical school? Doctor. It's like, yeah, you get somebody who's barely making it through and they don't know the law. These are the guys who are committing crimes against our people in the street, not the good cops. And I swear the majority are good cops. It's the 5 of them that are idiots,
Yeah.
and one of them is actually a criminal. So we need to make
Right.
sure they're properly educated, and we can't take any more shortcuts. That's just,
No.
my knowledge.
Okay. Well, what I'm saying is there is a problem, especially in the Black community, and I just want to share this with you guys real quick because I try to give you guys as much knowledge and let you guys know that I don't make things up when I'm talking about Black men killing each other at high rates. This is what I keep saying, and I'm talking this because I have a lovely, good-looking Black man here, yeah, what can I say? I noticed, and what I want to say is I am constantly talking to people on here, not to attack my people, but to get them to understand that the guns are plaguing our communities because Black people are killing Black people profoundly. So let's read this. Gun violence alone reduces the life expectancy of Black Americans by 4 years. I took a snapshot of this. I wanted to share this because this is no joke. This isn't fabricated information. This isn't fake news. This is a study. Let me repeat. Gun violence alone reduces the life expectancy. Gun violence. Gun. Right? By 4 years. And it says the U.S. largely ignores the external systemic factors, which is what Kitty is very educated on, to be honest. She knows a lot about this point. And she always talks about, and I love you for this, you always talk about the reason why our life expectancy is depleted because of gun violence. Okay, and in this article it says that your points that you always make are largely ignored, that there is a systemic factor. So all you people out there that say that there isn't systemic racism, that's a lie, and that affects our communities due to poverty. There's a lot of people in these high violence communities that don't have enough money. As I say, you could just move, and I'm still saying that you can move, but they don't because they're comfortable. They're in their neighborhoods. The rent is affordable, and they're around people they know. They're comfortable in the crap. And that's why I say, get the heck out of those freaking dangerous cities. Stop living there. No more excuses, right? Because your life expectancy is, due to this article, is going to go down substantially if you stay in these neighborhoods with these black folks that don't care if your life matters. You guys keep asking white people if our lives matters. Ask a black person that you know that lives next to you, do you think my life matters? And if you think my life matters, you would not have a gun near me, you would not have a gun near your kids, and you would not have your guns near our schools.
Okay, let me argue
Look at
one
it.
point with that here. 'Cause
Yeah,
I actually
go
agree
ahead.
with you wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
One thing I've talked to with an even more pro-black brother than you are, and he agreed with me on this. Everywhere I've ever lived, from Newark, New Jersey to Tacoma, Washington, to LA, to North Texas, to Washington, D.C., I've been in every hood this country had to offer.
Okay.
The one constant, and I hate this, and I talk about it, people go, psst, whatever. I'm from the hood. I know I sound like it, don't I? We don't like each other. Do you know I've never been to Watts? I've never seen the Watts Towers. I've never gone to South LA to all the, I'm vegan, I didn't really matter, but to all the good soul food restaurants in South LA, mainly because of the stigma that if you're wearing the wrong color t-shirt,
Right.
speaking English the way that I'm speaking right now,
Right.
and I had to grow up in the projects speaking the way that I am right now,
Wow.
you're going to get shot by another black man for the tiniest of
Right.
reasons.
And we can't
That has
can't
to
make
stop.
that has got to stop. And we
That's
can't make
weird.
light of that. So there's a problem within the black community. And when people are talking about black, and I know you guys think that I sound like Candace Owens, but I really don't, because I really do try to bring forth solutions. Okay, I really do try to sit here and say, listen, you just got to know the neighborhood. You have to know your town and shop around. I honestly don't think that black people should be renting. Like, do you guys know how many other races, Asian, Latino, they will fit their whole family, brothers and sisters and their kids, and put their monies together and buy a house and all live in there next to good schools and desirable neighborhoods. Yeah, you know, who wants to live with your freaking whole family? But that's what they do by any means necessary. They work together, and black people just don't do that. We're too much in survival mode. And I get why we have to be that way, but we don't have to be that way anymore. They are
Also
giving
because
us
of
loans.
Consumerism as well. Here in South Carolina, where I live right now, you can pull up to any rundown trailer and see a brand new Charger, $50,000, $600 a month car note, costs more than the house that they're living in. Like, brother, they got you. They got your mind wrapped around, I gotta have this to make me feel better about myself.
Yep. That is a huge problem. Mere fact is, and this is what I just said, that black people, we need to do different things with our money. That's our problem. Listen, Kitty left. That's okay. No, she comes back.
Yeah, send her
It's
5,
fine.
by the way. Let's see about that.
So yeah, we're going to talk about that if you have the time. But let me just say this. Black people, I love you. Yes, I'm marrying a white man, but I still love every black man like he's my brother. My brother is in jail right now. And guess what? His last picture that he took was him with a freaking gun. My brother's life could have been in danger because cops knew that my brother rides around with his gun. You don't think cops talk to each other? You don't think they know these criminals? They know them, and they're scared of them. So what do you think they're going to do? Look what happened to Devon Tillman. Devon Tillman got shot like 38 times. He was, 17 or 19 or something? Go look at Devon Tillman. They put so much bullets in this boy because he had a freaking gun. That thing freaking hit me so freaking bad. The cops surrounded him, and Devon Tillman, I'm pretty sure he was, well, I wish I had my computer charged. I forgot what he said, but this is what he said. He goes, man, y'all are going to kill me. They pulled him over for something. He was doing something bad. And he was sitting in the car with his gun. And the cop said, let go of your gun. Let go. He said, no, man, if I let go of your guys' gun, you got to think 17 or 19, it's either 17 or 19. Please correct me if you guys find out before I do, because I don't have my computer. He's a teenager. You're not a grown man until you're 21. So these young black men are scared of the police. They think the police are going to kill them. So guess what they do? They get guns. And guess what cops do? They kill them because they have guns. They don't even give them a chance to go through due process. Okay, so they're breaking in cars. Okay, so they're in gangs. Why are they dying disproportionately by police? Because the police believe that they are armed black men. Look at Ahmaud Arbery. He wasn't even armed. And civil everyday Americans that tried to do a civil arrest and shot him. Who cares if he was looking inside of a freaking vacant property? There wasn't even any freaking sheetrock up. There was nothing up. It was just freaking woods. He was just looking around. They thought that he was dangerous just because he's a black man wandering and running around in the town. They killed him. Well, now they're guilty. They're all going to jail.
That is a big issue with the laws in Atlanta, Georgia proper, because you're allowed to do a citizen's arrest and be armed while doing it. I don't agree with that. I've been carrying guns legally, of course, since I was 18. I have an AR-15, as a matter of fact.
Hey.
Now I'm
wait. Whoa. You have a gun?
I'm like my brother right here. I'm a Marine. Come on now. See, I'm head of security at my synagogue, so you better believe I'm armed at all times. Somebody
But are you?
My synagogue starting some mess? You getting cut in half. That's just the way things are.
Can I tell you this? My black brothers in this world, you guys are breaking my heart. You guys all come here, and do you guys know what I'm trying to do? Do you guys, we're black. Do you know I'm a good person? You guys know
I agree with you. I understand.
You know what I'm trying to do? What am I trying to do? I'm trying to recreate the Black Wall Street. I'm trying to, instead of asking for reparations, getting our communities cleaned up, getting white people, yes, white people, to come bring their money and spend their money on black businesses. Oh, could you imagine if black people are getting funded by white people? What if instead of celebrating Black History Month, white people during Black History Month go to a black business and spend their hardworking money and help black families? What if we stop spending our money on Chinese food restaurants and start having soul food restaurants? And it's not fried food.
Yeah, not slave food. Not slave food. So real
Right.
Hey,
because you want to know why? Yeah.
You will see people, the entire town where I live, 50% obesity, not just overweight, 50%. You know what we got? We got 4 chicken places, 3 burger places, and 1 grocery store. No fresh vegetables. There's 3 gyms nobody goes to, but it's
a problem. Heart disease is plaguing the black community disproportionately. Let me tell you something. It's always going to be disproportionate in all of our issues because there's not enough of us. You guys understand that if you're white in this country, you have a benefit because there's more of you guys in this country, and you guys aren't coming to our black neighborhoods and helping black families out enough. Yes, I know you guys have some of your programs, but it's not enough. Okay, it's not freaking enough. Okay, well, Donald Trump gave hundreds and millions of dollars to black colleges. Well, guess what? Our kids aren't even getting any education in their elementary school, middle schools, and high schools enough to understand how to even apply for a freaking college application. We don't need hundreds of millions of dollars in our colleges. We need $100 million in our K through 12 education schools. We need uniforms. We need outstanding teachers, not just regular freaking teachers. We need the best teachers in the world. We deserve that in a country where we weren't even allowed to read at one point. That we were chattel at one point. We were freaking property at one point. Shackled. And we were even breeded. They breeded us. And our slaves would make... Do you guys know the history of African American history? And guess what? Those slaves... Yeah, well, we weren't slaves. But guess what? That blood is running through my body. That slavery blood, is in his... Every black African American in this country is not a victim. We we are the proof of our survival no matter what we go through. Look at me. Look at these black men. We are so strong. We got through slavery and we keep going through oppression. We keep on fighting. Martin Luther King. America should make a point. We don't need reparations. We need you to help us in our communities. On an educational standpoint, I honestly think here in America, if I could run for congresswoman here in Connecticut, I would make it so black kids can go to college free. Why the hell are we paying for college?
Here's
You
We
know
were
that
chattel.
if you do that, there'll be opposition against you.
Of
And
course,
that's-
because they just don't want to see us win, man. They
Right, I
just don't
understand.
want to see us win, man.
I understand that. You said something earlier. I wanted to just jump on. I want to jump in and jump out and say hi to you. Soda House, but
Oh, yay! Everybody, you better give him a high five. He sold a house. It's not that easy.
yeah, but yeah, you said about the training, and the brother down there below, he can contest to this. Without the perfect training, without the right training, you don't deserve to be a cop. I understand
Well-
that it seemed easy for us to get it. Me and him, he'll tell you, becoming a Marine, we had to go through 3 months worth of training.
Ooh.
And it-
I
How
still
about
got the
this?
scars, bro.
But do you understand that if more black men were able to easily access the application to become cops, that we know our communities. We're not going to be quick to shoot Tyrone Jackson because he has a freaking hoodie.
I agree with that.
We need more black people policing our neighborhoods. And I feel that there's not enough black cops because maybe they think it's too difficult. What if these young black kids, instead of gang banging in the streets, we had, like, just like when you join the military at the mall or maybe in the streets, promoters, you know, like when you recruiters, I'm
have
sorry.
those.
Yeah. What if we have some recruiters where you can join the military or become police officers, where black men in suits come meet these young boys and shake their hand, and in neighborhoods that are deemed dangerous, and say, man, can I talk to you, man? Let me talk to you about your future. Have you ever thought about becoming a Marine? Do you want to know how
I was a
awesome it
recruiter,
is?
So let me tell you,
all
I
good.
was a recruiter, so let me run that down to you.
Yeah.
I
Go ahead.
did. In recruiting, we do have a pool. You know how we have like what we do when we look for houses. You know, we have a little area map. So we have a map of the areas that we can get those qualified guys or those non-qualified guys.
Right.
And what I would do as a Marine, I would go to those non-qualified areas. Not saying
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
some of the Marines, you know, my white counterparts wouldn't go into the hood where they're shooting at. I would go in there just because, you know, I know it's me. And I think I'm the baddest thing since, college cornbread, being a Marine. But, you know,
Yeah.
I would go into those neighborhoods because those are the kids that need the chance. I was
Yes.
if my Marine recruiter wouldn't have came to the hood, I would have never became a Marine. Actually, my little
Can
brother,
I ask you a question? Do you
Word up.
regret joining? Do you guys regret serving your country?
I don't regret it. I say that I do suffer from some things that I lost some Marines. As an infantry guy, you know, it's a lot of things that I've done, like jumped out of airplanes and all
That's
that
pretty
other
cool.
stuff. You're black. You ain't supposed to know how to swim. You know, you're not supposed to do this. So what I usually do is I crush the stereotype. And if you tell me I can't do it, I'm going to show you I can.
Right.
But, as far as me
So-
serving, no, I don't regret it. I don't regret it. My brother just retired.
And can I ask you this? Do you think that do you guys have missing fathers? One. Can I ask you that?
My father during that time.
He said, "Yeah, I do."
Yep.
My father
Yeah.
was missing. He's back in my life because, you know, we had these times
Yeah,
of
did you guys know
separation.
that? You freaking Republicans that keeps talking about the missing father in the black community. Everything is always the missing father. That's the problem with the black community. The missing father. Yeah, we have a lot of missing fathers, but guess what? Sometimes those missing fathers pop back up. That happened
They
to
do.
me too.
They do. It sometimes.
And it's
you know,
so strange. It is so strange. Let me tell
We
you.
struggle, but I learned how to love him, you know, through my hate and, you know, what I was told, you know, about my father. But, you know, each situation is different, you know, and I can't judge the next man's situation according to how I grew up. But my father's back in my life, and, you know, it could be the same way for me because I deployed 7 times. 7 times.
Wow.
And, you know, 2 of those times my kids were born and I wasn't there.
Wow. So what
and-
about that, Republicans? What about that? That you want to sit there talk about the missing father, but don't talk about all the black men that joined the military and they're missing because they're freaking working.
We
They
out
don't.
there.
They don't talk about. They don't want that narrative. They don't. They don't want that narrative that the black man is missing because he's working. They don't want that narrative on the right.
Let me pop in on that for a second there. My mother left my dad in 1970. So that's how old I am, believe it or not. I did not see my dad till I turned 39. Now, he was literally absent. What I find out, and to elongate the story a little bit without going too far, my grandfather, my dad's father, was a piece of garbage. Treated him like hell. He was, did everything wrong. It got to a point where even when my dad was an adult, my grandfather did something to my dad, and he said, listen, I hate you. I never want to see you again. And when you die, I'm not going to your funeral. He made good on that. Now, shameless plug, aweekWithMyFather.com. That's my show where I met my dad again. So I reunited with him after so many years of us being apart. And we talked about these things. And so, I never wanted to leave you and your mother, but I had so many things going on in my life that just wasn't working. I was just, he claimed it. I was dysfunctional. I couldn't handle having 2 kids living in Newark, having few job opportunities, and I get that. But I think what's going on right now, after the 70s, we had a lot of sexual irresponsibility that generated these fatherless kids. I met many people when I developed my show and say, listen, I've never met my dad. Can you help me meet my dad? I'm like, I'm not a private investigator, bro. If you know where your dad is, I'll find him and get you on the show with us. But otherwise, you meet a lot of these young ladies, unfortunately, that have had 4 or 5 sexual partners about the time a young black man was conceived. So they literally have no idea who their baby daddy is. And that again,
can I just let this sink in? And you guys have got to understand, this is so amazing to me because the missing father isn't. Do you guys realize in politics? I don't know if you're a Republican or Democrat. I don't know where you guys are, but do you guys see on Fox News? What are you?
Independent.
Do you guys understand that Fox News Network continue to bash black men about being missing? Like Ben Shapiro, they constantly talk. These Republicans hired by PragerU, these Trump supporters constantly talk about the missing father, and they act like because black men don't take care. This is the narrative that America has created for the black man. And yes, there's a lot. I have a missing father too, but I know where he is. But what this man said here, you guys, he has his own show. Please follow him. I'd like to follow you too, as well. I think I already do though. He said that there's a missing father because they're having too many sexual partners. It has nothing to do with them. It has something to do with them being F boys. That's the truth.
Going around hopping from jump off to jump off, the expression goes. Like, dude,
Papa
stick
was
with
a
one
Rolling
woman,
Stone.
marry her.
He said Papa was a Rolling Stone. Listen, that ain't no joke. Black men
in New Jersey, apparently, that I've never met.
Are players. And you know what I'm saying? But the problem is America is saying if black men stop being players, stop trying to get freaking 3, 4, 5 baby mamas. My brother right now is working on his 4th child with 4 different baby mamas. It's like, bro, stop having kids. And guess what? I love my brother, but he doesn't pay child support and he doesn't take care of them. And guess what? White women love black men right now and dealing with black woman problems. So, I'm not saying that every black man is the same, but black women are going to other resources. I'm marrying a white man, and people always want to mess with me about it. But I said there was no black. I'm pretty sure you guys are great black men, but there was none in my life. You know what I'm saying? Listen,
I can't help it.
Listen, white women love black men because black men put white women on a freaking pedestal. But guess what's happening to them? The narrative is now theirs. Guess what happened to not Khloe Kardashian. Was it Khloe Kardashian? Yeah, it was Khloe Kardashian. What's his name? He got her pregnant and got his trainer pregnant.
Yeah. Odom, I think it is. Lamar Odom or something like that.
Yeah, so guess what? Now white women are dealing with black women problems. And I tell you, they wanted to be black. They wanted all of us. Like, guess what? Now you deal with it. All the Kardashians are obsessed with black men. And it's because of them making black men a trend.
Well, absolutely.
Now, guess what? They get to share the narrative.
Yeah.
But my point is this. my goal in life, because I do have the missing father, black father, but guess what? And this is where me and Candace Owens, if I ever meet her trifling having self, I would tell her this: we have something in common, Candace. We didn't have a father around, but I had the best grandfather anyone could ever imagine. I had the best grandfather. He wasn't even my biological grandfather. I found out my grandmother hooked up with my grandfather, and when my grandfather had my mom in the hospital, my papa ended up swiping my grandma. So we didn't know him and my real grandfather were best friends. So he stole my grandmother, and I never knew he wasn't my biological grandfather, which hurt my freaking feelings. But let me tell you, my grandfather was the best. I'm trying to find a picture of him, the best black man in the freaking world, and he took care of his freaking family. So what I'm trying to do is change this narrative that America has lied on the black man, but there is some problems that we have that they have to own up to, and that is gun violence.
Well, it's more than just gun violence. I mean, it's more to it. That's just maybe.
And that's over sexualization.
Well, look at the TV programs. Look at the schools. Look at the peer pressure that goes on.
You guys. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm from Hawaii. That's why I'm so dark. Cause in Hawaii, I'm a lot darker, and I live in Connecticut now. This is my grandfather. Okay, he raised me, and that's why I fight for the black man. You see, he didn't even have to freaking work. My grandmother took care of him because he took care of his girls, all the women in the family. He listened to us. He was the best man in the freaking world, and I miss him every single day. There's not a day that goes by. So when people talk about the black man, I get kind of emotional. I say it's a damn lie.
Well, I think
damn lie.
You've got a destruction of the black family, period.
Yeah, it's so sad.
Was a monster. My grandfather was 6'6", 350.
Happy
I mean, he
Jersey
couldn't
guys.
get in this house. I'm owning, by the grace of God. But he also was a longshoreman working with the mob in the 1950s in New Jersey, and so he would come home every Friday with his 10 kids, drunk as hell, spend all the money on alcohol, and beat my grandmother every Friday. Look at that generational thing sliding downhill of how the black family's been destroyed. Now, we're not responsible, but now that we've gotten past that, we're still articulating the exact same things that we did back then in breaking the black family down. So there is a component of the loss of the black father. You know, having a father, I had all of that. I had problems with, drug use. I had problems with promiscuity. I probably have 4 kids out there. I'm no saint. But it was the 80s now. Come on.
Stop it. He's like, there might be a few kids out there that I don't know about going to knock on my door.
Real talk. I'm not
so,
kidding, but
so what I want to say.
We
go
need
ahead.
each other, father and mother in the household. One loves, one provides healthy discipline. And that's how you raise a child properly.
But can I make this about money real quick?
Sure.
It don't matter what race the man is. I'm sorry. If a man in this world, white women, black women, just find a good man. Okay, that's just that. But did you know that 2 people working in the household brings up the income in the house? And therefore, if you have a man and a woman that are both working, guess what? They're probably going to be able to afford to live in these good neighborhoods. They're probably going to be able to be in these desirable schools that all the white kids go to. The problem is because there's a missing part. It's not really a missing father that's a problem in the black community. There's a missing partner. Black women don't take no mess, and black men get tired of our mess. It's true. Black women, we're not that easy to deal with, okay? I don't know how my white man deals with it. You know how loud I am?
Man,
there are some black men don't want to deal with that.
Yeah, you're right. But we still learn how to deal with it, though. We still have to learn how to deal with it because we've been through so much trauma.
Yeah.
We need to learn how to heal from that. We haven't healed from a lot of things that's been done to us. I mean, a lot of this stuff that like gun violence and we hating each other, and you mentioned something about I know a group of Hispanics that they tend to a house. I sold them a house.
Yep.
And there's 10 of them in there. 10 of them.
Yep.
So what they do
That's some smart stuff, man. They know how to do it.
All their money together and everybody gets a house.
And guess what else they do that's right? Latinos in this country, Mexicans. You guys were talking about the Mexican-U.S. border. Guess what they do in this country? They put their money together. They buy cash. Guess what you need? You don't need no credit check with cash. You don't need no credit. And guess what? The banks don't care. Yeah, that's all you need. And guess what? That's how they get here. They take all their cash, and who cares how they freaking got it? Listen, the bank only cares about the green. So they take all their money. They all live in there. And guess what they do? They don't go looking for a job. Most of them don't even speak English. No habla inglés. You know what they do? They work entrepreneur jobs. They paint. They do contract work.
Cut grass. Yeah.
They cut grass. All the jobs black people don't want to do because we have our pride and everything. But let me tell you this. Let me tell you this. They get a truck. They buy a truck, a beater truck. I'm talking with a door hanging off and everything that says SA Paint. And guess what? They go around the block and people make fun of them for mowing the lawn. But guess what? All you need is a few big contracts. That's it. You just need to do like a Walmart property, a few commercial properties, and you make sure that lawn is done every single day. You make sure it's maintained. You could talk about a $30,000 contract, maybe even higher if you're a good negotiator. Me and him are both in real estate, and I'm pretty sure you guys all know about real estate. Do you know that if you could knock on somebody's door and you know how many people need paint in their house? They need just paint. All you gotta do is go in there and people. What do people say? Give me a quote. How much would it cost? They look up. They don't even look at a paper. They don't look at no sheet, no nothing. They go, yeah, this is gonna cost about $20,000. And guess what? White people write them a check. And guess what? They do a perfect job. And guess what? Guess what happens? They tell their neighbors, and they go, "Oh, call Carlos. They came over here. They painted our whole house for $20,000, and it's beautiful." And then they keep going, and now they're in freaking business. Mm-hmm. And guess what Chinese people do? Oh, why don't Chinese people have problems? They come here, and guess what they do? They use cash, and they get a Chinese food restaurant called Wong Tong Chinatown Foods. And guess what? They put it right in the middle of black communities. So they know we're going to eat the crap out of that stuff. And guess what? They make it affordable, because guess what? Black people like a good deal. We ain't going to say a no to a $1 egg roll. No, we eating that. And it's good, too. And guess what else they do? They do whatever black people want. Chinese people, Asian people, they come here. What you want? You want your nails done? Guess what? You know how much money black women spend on getting our nails done?
Grip, hair, bundles.
Oh, because we care so much about how we look. Chinese people don't give a damn how they look. They be wearing stuff. This one Chinese guy that I know that I used to work with, he had these gray old pants that he wore every single day and a Hawaiian shirt. Okay, you don't care. Go get your nails done. I'm telling you, they do not care. Tammy at the salon, she's wearing a Nike shirt and some jeans, and she haven't done her hair at all. She has her hair in a bun, and you get your nails done. Okay, then they want to upsell us every 5 seconds, talking about you want the. And guess what? Black women just can't have nails. We need long nails that cost extra money. Right. Then we need the designs. Then we need to get our feet done. Then what you need, Chinese people, and what you need, what you going to buy? They talking to black people.
Sure.
We spending, and by the time we done all that. We spend all our money. Guess what? Now we have money because we've been in America for a while. So we just gave money to the Carlos SA Paint. We gave our money to them. We gave our money to the Chinese food restaurant. And guess what? Her sister, Tammy, her name's Tammy too. We go to her salon and we go buy all the wigs. Okay, you know how much money black women spend on wigs? I mean, we're just...
That's some bull.
Eyelashes. We got to have the eyelashes. Oh my God, we got the eyelashes. And guess what? Not only that, black women gotta have now it's not just things to buy. Now we gotta have a BBL. Now everybody has to have a BBL. It costs freaking how much to get a BBL? $15,000 for a new butt? Because everybody want a Kardashian butt. So now, and guess what? The black woman doesn't own a house. You got all these nails, you got all these superficial stuff, and you don't own property. You know what I'm saying?
Then you want a man now. Now you want a man.
Now you want a man. And then guess what? But the man, he can't just be any man. This man gotta have 3, 4, 5 jobs. This man gotta pay my bills, pay my rent, have my nails done. And then the black man's like, get the hell out of here. Because guess what? Tina, the white girl, she didn't ask him for nothing. All she wanted is that long D.
Hey, I've been playing in the snow for 20 years, sis. I haven't looked back.
That's why white women make it easier for the black men. So they make it easy. They don't care. Because guess what? White women, guess what white women do? White women take care of black men. Guess what? White women, Kim Kardashian, all of them, they be coming through with their freaking dough. Who's that one black, light-skinned black guy who married Kim Kardashian for only like 10 days and then tried to sue her for money?
Chris Humphries, I think. Ball player. Chris Humphries.
Yeah, Chris Humphries married Kim Kardashian for just a few days just for her money. He tried to get alimony.
Yeah, he sued her. She cut him a check. The hair here. Okay, baby, get on my face. There you go.
So all I'm saying is, don't you think that black people, what I'm trying to do, I know I try to make it funny for everybody. We got to start doing different things.
Well, I think we're moving towards it. Like now I think we're seeing a lot of history come out. Like you were talking about some black history. I just read a book today called Delectable Negro. It blew my damn mind.
Wow. I should.
Have you ever read that book?
No. Is it good?
It goes back in history and tell you how they was eating slaves back then.
Look at you. I'm sorry, I got distracted with the cat.
They were eating slaves. They were eating them.
I think I heard about this.
Pick up the Delectable Negro, and it's also crazy, And you got to look at the Straw Man and some other books out there that'll help you understand history. But I understand what you're trying to do is you're trying to get a solution to the problem that we have right now. Overall, all jokes aside, we have to wake up, and it's kind of hard right now. It's really hard because we've been had guns. We've had guns for millions of years. Weapons.
That's the 50s.
Yeah, we've been.
Yeah, but what has the gun done for? What has the gun done for the black community?
For the black community, it's caused nothing but trouble. But we can't sit there no longer and say, hey, You said somebody said something about somebody got robbed or something like that, and they came in their house. I can't.
Yeah, that was yesterday.
I can't sit here and wait for the police to come in. My life is in threat and in danger. Right? As a Marine right now, I'm trained to react. I'm gonna react and move.
Yeah, but due to proximity, first response.
You broke up. You broke up real bad. Did you hear her?
Yeah, I didn't hear a word of that, bro. She's offline, period.
Sis. She's looking at the sky right now.
Yeah, we can't hear you at all, sis.
Sis. Hello.
She might actually be producing and not responding. She's actually still going on. Can you hear us, sis? No, she can't hear us either.
No.
But for the audience, look up the Winchester Rifles, 1877. We had a reason to have guns in the black community because the Klan were going around and setting houses on fire. They were like, we ain't having that. Oh, there you are. Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Nope.
My mic, I got to change my battery because I've been talking a lot with you guys. Let me just say this. If you are a robber, what I'm saying is, and I do want to study law, I'm in broker's class, you guys. I'm going to take the test soon. So, I'm saying your girl's going to come up, and I do want to go back to college, and I want to study law. And I honestly would be a great prosecutor. But what I'm saying is, or whatever, I'm very much interested in law. I don't think that if somebody's going to rob you, their consequence should be death by your gun. And let alone, if you're going to get a gun, why do you need a semi-automatic gun? Why do you need an AR-15? Why do you need the most deadly? Can't you shoot him in the knee? Why do you got to shoot to kill? You crazy gun people.
At nighttime, you don't know who's coming. You don't know where you're gonna shoot them at. When you shoot a gun, the bullet don't have no direction. You can't say, "Hey, just aim low, go towards the knee." You're trying to stop the threat immediately. That's the whole point. You don't have time to sit there and rationalize, that threat. You don't know. There's been robberies where I've just recently seen one dude came in with a gun. So the homeowner shot at the robber, and the burglar shot back at the robber. So it's time where you don't have that time to sit there and think about it. There are other ways. We can't talk to them. If somebody's in your property, somebody's at your property, and you're in fear, that's why the law is created. I'm in Florida. Stand your ground.
Do you understand when I'm telling you that homicidal rates are dominating black on black crime.
I
Well,
do
you have to
understand
make
that.
a subset though. 'Cause that's actually more often black on drug-related violence in the black community. Unfortunately,
You saying
I'll
drug
bet you
related?
drug-related. Yeah, the gangs love to protect their territory and retaliate against each other using guns. So you have to subset that data based on the situation at hand, whether it's justifiable homicide or gang-on-gang violence. Which I
So
think would be the
how can
majority
we
of
get the
gun violence.
guns? Okay, so let's say all you law-abiding citizens, you guys want the guns. Listen, I don't know if you guys saw this when I read this to you guys. Gun
Yeah, I
violence
saw it.
alone reduces the life expectancy of Black Americans by 4 years. Okay, having a gun is endangering your life if you were Black by 4. It says by 4 years. Let's read together before this. Black Americans are twice as likely as white Americans to die from gun violence, and 14 times more likely than white Americans. Oh, I can't read the something.
To be
4,000
wounded.
is the number. I can't read all of this.
Well, you've got to subset that data for situations, whether it's
I mean,
an
but what does
impoverished
this
black
say?
community or a middle.
What does this say to you? This is so important for you guys to understand that when I'm telling you guys that I want Black men to be disarmed, I'm not saying I want you to be weak. What I'm saying is I want your life expectancy to come up. I want you to have a chance of living because your life is in danger because of the gun. And guess who's killing you? It's not white people.
It's other black people,
It's
sure.
Black people.
But with that, when someone dies of a gun, there's always a situation involved. Was I walking down the street and I got randomly shot? Was I engaged in criminal activity and got shot? Was I breaking someone's house?
Right.
Or was I rolling up on the Trace 60s down in Watts and got hit in a drive-by? That's unfortunately that's the greatest number of black on black killings. And if the study, it's a Brady, God loves Brady because the man was nearly shot when President Reagan was shot back in the 80s, but they don't subset that data. They look at the number of black deaths by gun and say, oh, black people dying by gun. No, wait a minute. What were you doing when you got shot? When that person got shot, was he being in a criminal activity or did he get hit by a straight bullet? With something else we don't even talk about in the black community, how bad these neighborhoods are, and it's people getting killed in the crossfire of gang versus gang violence, which that is the chief.
And you want to
killer
know who's
black
getting
people.
affected the most? These kids. Did you guys
Absolutely.
know that there was listen, nobody freaking even reported this on mainstream news, that a 3-year-old got shot by gunfire. What's that kid's name? Oh my God. I wish I had my other phone on me so I could tell you guys. A 3-year-old got shot. And I
The
do have
7-year-old girl
some-
in Chicago at McDonald's with her dad. Dad used
What'd
to
you say?
get out of the 7-year-old girl's in line with her dad at McDonald's in the drive-thru. Dad used to be a G. The rival gang rolled up on him, shot up the car. He survived. The 7-year-old girl died with a gunshot in the head because he used to be a G.
And let's talk about a rapper. Almost every I get the news just because I that's what I report on TikTok. How many rappers are dying? Look at what happened to what's his name?
Young Dolph.
Yeah, what say
Nipsey
his name
Hussle.
again?
Young Dolph.
Young Dolph.
King Von.
That's the latest one, yeah.
Yeah, and but then
Somebody
the
else last
other
week,
one that
really.
was with the girl with the T.I. movie. I'm having a brain fart. Nipsey Hussle.
Nipsey
Hussle.
Hussle, exactly.
Nipsey Hussle.
And he got out of the
Young
gang
Dolph.
life.
And that's not
He
the
got
only
out
one.
of the gang life, big time.
Who Nipsey Hussle?
Yeah.
Oh, Nipsey Hussle was doing great things. He was going to have a co-working space incubator. You guys don't know what that is, but I do in real estate. He wanted to build a building with an incubation of Black businesses, and they killed him in front of his commercial property. You guys don't realize this. He was investing in real estate in Black communities and creating Black entrepreneurs. Are you talking about a co-working space, affordable incubator that's going to create Black businesses? They
But that's what
killed
happened.
him.
That's what happens when you try to step up. All our leaders, like I told you last week, all of our leaders that stood ground and stepped up, they wind up getting killed. You
This
can't.
is when I didn't even listen to Nipsey Hussle's music, okay, to be honest. But when I read
One
the
right there,
story and I
yeah.
realized how much he was doing for the community, I realized why Black people were like, dang, you guys took Nipsey Hussle. He was also directing a movie with
Dr.
Dr.
Sebi.
Sebi.
with Dr.
He was vegan
Sebi
like I am.
to
He was a
create a
vegan.
new narrative in the Black community and stop eating all this fried food, including Chinese food,
Including pork.
And let me
Or
tell you
thank you,
something.
brother. Yes. Stop eating that
He-
swine.
They killed
Come on.
Nipsey Hussle. This guy was woke more than any rapper. The only person that I can even give a comparative contrast to Nipsey Hussle is maybe Kanye West today. Maybe Kanye
T.I. too.
and Tupac.
Tupac, yeah, but T.I.
And guess what happened to Tupac?
Of course.
How did
But that-
Tupac die?
but that goes back to the point.
But listen to this. How did Tupac die?
Gun.
Gun
Yeah.
violence.
Yeah.
How did Biggie die?
Same way.
Gun violence. How did Nipsey Hussle die? Gun
Same way.
violence. Meanwhile, who's that kid that freaking ratted on everybody?
Tekashi 6ix9ine.
Meanwhile, Tekashi, whatever the hell, 69, is rolling around with 10 freaking security guards, and he's a
He got
freaking
to.
snitch and bragging about it.
Yeah.
Ain't
Oh, his
done
turn is
nothing for the
coming.
Black community or
Oh,
the
yeah.
Latino community.
His turn is coming. Real talk.
He said his turn is coming. So
I
I'm
hate
trying
to
get
say
you
it,
guys
his
to
turn is coming.
understand the pattern that is continuing is the gun is always in the mix.
Well, here's what I want to point out, though. There was
It's
just a
the common
stabbing at
denominator.
a Snoop Dogg concert. Somebody got stabbed at backstage, as a matter of fact. And I used to do VIP security in LA, and I'm like, who was on point on security in that arena? That somebody came back there with a knife and stabbed a upcoming rapper, and dude bled to death and all the way to hospital. So it's really just the violent aspect, and unfortunately, hip hop was clean, not so much clean and pure, but it was like you would do what's called banging on wax. The minute the gang aspect and that street thug life took over hip hop, we were done. And now it's about killing each other.
Yeah, it's a problem. And then what do you think that's going to do? Not only are we dying by the gun, guess what? We're making music about the gun. Every song is about pop.
And that N word.
Boom, 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 killing it.
And can I say this? This is what I'm saying. I'm not a square Black chick. Okay, I can easily. I'm gonna let you guys know something honest. I'm gonna be open with you guys. When I was in my 20s, I went through a horrible divorce, and I made a decision. I was pretty hot back then. My girlfriend, I needed money for an attorney, and my girlfriend goes, "Do you know I went to the strip club and I made like $700 tonight? I didn't even have money to wipe my own ass. My ex left me with everything and stole my kids, and I had to go to court to fight for them. I need to get an attorney. I need to fight for my kids. I went to a strip club and I worked." So I'm being honest with you guys. I'm actually really ashamed of it. I'm a real.
I told you about an angel. It's all good.
I'm a broker now. Do you guys understand? I'm an island girl. I grew up on an island in Hawaii. And you know, our education is crap. Our public education is crap. I could have easily still stayed in Hawaii, been working in the clubs. You're talking about, you want to know how many people visit Hawaii, military, and everybody else on a day-to-day basis? When I was Cape Kaneohe Bay. Oh, I had a lot of fun there. I could have easily had that lifestyle. But from a young age, I always wanted to be better. I always wanted something more. So guess what? I saved my money and I got, a house. And guess what I did? I went to school to study real estate. My point is this: I chose. And actually, when I did dance, I also had a full-time job at the Marriott's. So I would work at the Marriott. I worked 2-3 jobs. That's why I don't like these freaking excuses. Get the hell out of here with those goddamn excuses. I worked at the dance club and I also worked at the Marriott. I had 2 jobs. I would wake up, go to work, and I wouldn't even get off to 3 o'clock in the morning. And I saved up all my money and I got my real estate license. And guess what? I'm about to be a broker, y'all. I made $60,000 this year, gross. Not net.
Oh, that ain't bad. That ain't bad.
I make my own money. And guess what? when I would talk to men, I made sure that I talked to men that had good families that I knew were going to take care of their kids. You know what I'm saying? I chose a different lifestyle. I could have easily met some, you know what type of guys you meet at the club?
Yeah, I know.
I could have easily met some gang banging dude that wanted to drop money on me and do all that, live that night street lifestyle and drink every day. I chose a different lifestyle.
Absolutely.
And
it's about a personal choice.
Exactly.
I ran into
so
a
people say,
really good
"Boy,
friend of
Andrea,
mine that-
why are you so scared of the gun?" I'm not scared of the gun. I just choose not to want to do nothing with the gun because I understand it's dangerous. That's a dangerous lifestyle you guys are talking about with your freaking guns. Everybody's so quick to say they're going to pop a cap at somebody. Ain't nobody even popped a cap to nobody. You don't know. You think that your gun in your house is going to protect you from a gangster who lives and breathes? And it says in the Bible, you live by the sword, you die by the sword. Yeah. Everyday Americans are not freaking trained. I don't care how many times you guys go to the hunting grounds. You're not going to freaking stop a freaking, I guess you would with an AR-15. But these criminals wait. They wait until you're sleeping. They wait till you're vulnerable.
Oh,
guess what?
That's what, bro. That's the worst time to mess with one of us.
Yeah. Oh, right.
Oh my goodness.
Man, what did I just?
You wake me up while I'm asleep.
Oh,
you better cancel Christmas, New Year's, your next 5 birthdays.
No, you just hope you got your orders in the fair. Hope you got your affairs in order. For real.
You guys listen to this.
Oh my
you guys
goodness.
are helping.
I know. I'm sorry.
I'm
sorry. It's
you guys, you like, hey, if somebody knock on my door at 12:30 and I just had a freaking full shift, I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm popping caps. What
Man,
the
they
hell?
gonna get it.
Oh man!
I know you're trying it, but it's our training.
I'm trying so hard.
I really blame it on the training. Sis.
Okay,
I can't help it.
So how are we going to have a different narrative about the missing father, our communities? How are we going to get white people to come spend their money in our towns and invest in us if we have
got to talk about it. We got to have education and we got to be reasonable. We got to be understanding about how we're doing this. Sometimes
you guys won't give up your guns. You're not going to give up your guns ever. You're not going to give up your guns.
Never.
Right.
Why?
So sorry.
Yeah, hey, I really agree with. I really like you, sis, but I'm not giving up my guns.
Listen,
apostrophe S.
How can we get the guns for the criminals? How can we get the guns for the criminals? How can we get the guns for the criminals? You guys are making it.
You know, every time, even if you try to stop that, there's always going to be somebody that's going to provide it for them. No matter where you are, somebody's always going to provide. There's always going to be one bad seed that's going to try to give them guns. Look at Chicago. There's a guy out there, actually, if you go to Chicago right now, you can hit the freights and get guns.
So this is why I love that tonight I dedicated this night talking to 2 black men in America, because when I'm telling you guys, homicidal rates are dominating black people, black on black crime is a problem due to proximity. We have our reasons due to poverty, and we're not going to have safe neighborhoods if we don't stop killing each other. But how are we going to stop killing each other if you guys won't let go of your gun?
Can I ask a question? So how are we going to get rid of it? Okay, so if we get rid of our guns, black people, we get rid of our guns.
Yes.
And the others, and the other nations don't get rid of their guns. What are we supposed to do? Because right now we're talking about us. Let's talk about us. But how are we going to defend ourselves? Because right now, they're more scared of us than we are of them. And it's nothing against them, but we have to.
Who's them? Who is them? Who is them that you're talking about?
The other nationalities.
Well, I'm telling you right now, love, that the problem is not white people. They're not killing black people. They don't even want to live next to black people. They don't even think our lives matter. I'm telling you.
Oh, we know that.
They have completely forgotten about the black community, because guess what? We're not slaves anymore. We're now supposed to be taking care of ourselves and being self-sufficient. They We got the Emancipation Proclamation. You guys have a Civil Rights Act. Why aren't you guys doing what the Asian people are doing? Why aren't you guys doing what Latino people are doing?
We don't get the money.
Instead of playing victim, that's what they're saying. I'm not saying that.
Yeah, we don't get the money. We don't get anything.
Well, here's what I want to jump in on.
They think we're lazy. they think we're lazy, and they think we just want the government to hand us things, and we are killing each other. 30% of the population, 30% dominating murder. We're killing each other, double our population. Why are they going to freaking help black people when black people won't even help themselves?
Well, think about priority setting. And I lived everywhere, Newark, New Jersey especially. When they've tried to bring, have you ever been out that way? Pathmark is the major grocery store out that way. When they tried to bring a Pathmark to where we lived in the middle of Central Ward, Newark, their first concern was, well, the neighborhood's pretty bad. What are we going to do about crime, vandalism, Willie the wino out front begging for change? That drives away business. Not to mention, when an executive of the corporation comes in driving his brand new Jaguar, he comes out, somebody jacks his stereo, like, I'll never come here again.
And I won't bring my
That's the
customers
thing
there.
that drives away investors, people that want to bring grocery stores and such that we really need in the black community. We have to
Right.
change our mindset, like Tupac has said. Let's change the way we eat, change the way that we live. And no matter
Yeah.
where I've been, every black community, not every, but the most ones I've been to, all you see is broken windows and trash everywhere and graffiti on everything. And that
Yes.
drives away people that may want to make an investment. That's a guarantee.
Decreased property value.
That's
Right.
exactly what I've been
Exactly.
trying to explain to you guys for like 48 hours.
But it doesn't
Oh my
tell us-
God, that sounded so
Again.
beautiful when you said it. Wow.
But we understand
Thank you,
that.
Jesus.
We do understand
Think.
that. Breathe.
What he
It's
Breathe.
mentality we have to
said.
change, most definitely.
That
It's going to
is
come from
the
the inside,
gem right
the head, and the heart.
there.
Have to be changed, the black community.
Black people have got to be on board with making our neighborhoods desirable. Once we make our neighborhoods desirable and all people, not only black people, want to live there, they're going to start investing in our towns. And guess what? The Black Wall Street won't need to be in Tulsa, Oklahoma. It's going to be worldwide. When you see a black business, you're going to see success. You're going to see clean streets. You see my standards of living? Okay, I always told everybody this. I don't want a closet full of freaking Coach bags. I just want one good Burberry bag or a Birkin. I don't need a whole bunch of freaking
Here we
t-shirts.
go.
I just want a few good things because I've always one thing. My grandma taught me to be classy, even though I've made poor decisions in my life. She would always get upset with me, but she always told me to have standards, high standards. That's what black people need to have in our neighborhoods, in our schools, and in our homes.
High standards, exactly.
Yeah.
And one of the
Highest
things I lived in
the
LA
highest
where,
standards.
like in LA, the Mexicans get together and they build, somebody does yard work, somebody does ironworking. You'll see these ornate mansions in the worst Mexican neighborhoods because they care about what they look like. It might be a
Right.
bad neighborhood, but everybody's houses are clean and lawns are well done. We don't do that. And I don't know why.
Let me
It's
express
it's a problem. Go ahead.
a little bit more. We as a people, we don't get along with each other. You can put two black women into a house or I mean, I'm going to get on the men too. We could put 2 or 3 black women. Oh, that bitch thinks she is. That's the first thing that comes out their mouth.
What did you say?
It's nice to see each other. Let's see what we can put our minds together because 2 black women are strong and powerful if they think. But, they're always like, that bitch got a Birkin. She thinks she all that because she got a Birkin. Oh, she got Gucci. That poor ass, she ain't got this. And as men, sometimes we don't, we argue and disagree over petty stuff. Things that don't edify, build us up. Remember last week I went off on my tangent telling that we were kings. We've always been kings, but we've been taught to act like peasants.
I remember you saying that. But that's the type of mentality. That's why when other black women call me queen, I didn't really like that in the beginning when I got into politics on TikTok. I said, why do you guys keep calling us queens? And then I realized you're trying to rebuild our mentality because for centuries we were told that we were undesirable. I as a little girl, I don't even remember having a Barbie doll that was appealing until I was like freaking too old to be playing with dolls. Okay, and even in cartoons, you always see I remember the only cartoon that this is how old, I'm 36. I remember a movie called Bebe's Kids.
Oh yeah, Robert
and
Williams.
The little baby with a diaper with the flies on his butt and boogers coming down his nose. That was the type of black cartoons. And then let's talk about another black cartoon, Boondock Saints. a little black kid that walks around as really gangster and stuff. And then let's talk about our movies, Boys in the Hood, and also don't drink your juice. Don't what's the living in South
Don't be a
Central.
menace in society by drinking your juice in the
Yeah.
hood. Yeah.
Do me a favor. If
That
this
was
is
a
the last thing I
parody,
tell
of
you
course.
guys, do me a favor. Rewatch that movie after talking to us. There is a lot of truth. Damian Wayne says
Message and it's
Message.
trying to say something.
in that whole movie, and what everything we talked about. If you guys don't know this, if you guys never see that movie by the Wayans brothers, go see Living in South Central
While drinking your juice in the hood.
while drinking your juice in the hood. Everything that we talked about was in that movie. Over sexualization. The girl had like all these kids from all these different baby daddies. They go into a Chinese store because it was a bodega on the block. And what did they say when he walked in? Nigga.
Yeah.
and hurry up and buy. What did you say?
Hurry up and buy. Yeah, right.
Mm-hmm.
Hurry up and buy. But why are you telling black people? Like, I know it was a joke, but there was some truth to that. Why are you telling us to hurry up and buy? Why even have and acting like we're going to steal and stuff like that? Like, it just depicted us in such a negative light, and I'm sick and tired of it.
Well, we get that all the time. But the thing is, if you put a black restaurant or a black store in there, we rob from each other.
That too.
Real talk.
You know,
Yep.
and then the food choices that we have. If you go in the hood, there's a corner store. The first thing you see is a bag of skins or some pork chops on sale.
Miss Purdy, if you're here, are you listen, I see you in the comment section. You're saying, but I'm perpetuating these stereotypes. Am I perpetuating it or am I bringing it to light?
Real talk.
I'm gonna
They
let's let her in if she wants to come in and join. So
Did I say
you know,
every black person lives in the ghetto? Clearly not. I'm black. These two black men are black, and we all talk proper English. Obviously, we're educated. I'm a realtor. He's a realtor, and he's got his own freaking show. I mean, are you kidding me? I'm not talking about me when I'm talking about gun violence. I'm not talking about Judah and my friend here. What I'm talking about is us as a whole race. Because you want to know what? It don't matter. As long as my black people keep messing up, no matter how great I am right now, I'm trying to get my own broker agency where I hire agents and I'm selling real estate. Guess what happens when I'm trying to get clients? The first thing they see is me as a black person. And they don't think that I'm married to a white guy and living in middle class. They think I'm from gun waving New Haven. So they don't give me their business as easily. Every time I meet a white client, they probably assume that I'm this ghetto chick from freaking gun waving New Haven. We have bad stereotypes, and I'm trying to knock them all out the park. We
Somebody
need
said
a
that-
new narrative. We need a new narrative, America, Black America specifically. And as long as you're holding on to your guns, we are going to be deemed a dangerous race.
Hey, I'm gonna get off this, and I just
All
want to
right.
say I love y'all. I love my people.
All right.
Y'all
Yeah.
keep on trying to do the same thing. Keep on trying to educate them.
Okay.
Keep on trying to wake them up. I know it's hard. It's a task.
Hey,
But,
you
you
can
know,
bring
don't-
a horse to the water, but you can't make him drink it.
Yeah, the
Make 'em
most
drink. Real talk.
weary and well
Either
doing.
way, I'm gonna be successful. I don't know. You guys coming? All right, Judah. All right.
And that's number 5, bro.
Simplify, right?
Ah,
All right. Let me see here. I got enough for Miss Purdy. Let's talk to Miss Purdy.
go. I'm gonna jump off in a second.
Okay.
But you
go ahead.
said it. We've got to change the mentality. And Tupac said, "I always carried it in my heart when he said, let's change the way that we eat. No more
You're
the
gonna kill me.
swine. No more shrimps. No more that crab nonsense. Eat real food. Eat vegetables. Drink
Yes.
water. Exercise. That's going to
That's
be
not
half
just
the
black people, you
battle."
guys. That's white people too. That's white people.
Well,
too. We all-
absolutely.
in America, we all need to eat healthier.
Absolutely. Well, you know, we can't handle salt like our white counterparts. We keep salting everything, and it's killing us. We get high blood
Everything
pressure
just-
worse than they do.
Everything disproportionately kills us because we're minorities. We have a disadvantage because there's not enough of us. We're minorities. Miss Purdy. please,
Yes.
I can't wait to hear what you have to say. Just don't kill me, sis.
No, I
no
don't come.
pun intended.
I don't come on lives like that. My objective is not like to embarrass anyone or kill anyone.
Okay.
Or
Okay.
my concern here, I understand. I think anybody who spent any amount of time on TikTok knows your position on firearms.
Yeah.
My fear, or my concern, I should say, is that we cannot simply say that having firearms or being able to obtain firearms is the reason why there's this type of crime or this type of violence in our communities. Is it one of the reasons? You can argue that, but there's a shit ton of other reasons why there's crime in our communities. But I also want to point out that crime is not exclusive to African American communities.
That's true. It
Violence
disproportionately
to African American.
It disproportionately affects us.
So we
That's what I'm
talked
saying.
about last night, and the reason why the crime statistics are so skewed is because in the urban neighborhoods and in the Black and brown neighborhoods, there's over policing. So you're going to have more crime statistics for areas where are more present. Now, does that mean that crime is not white community? No, that's not what that means. That means the police aren't there over policing the same way that they are in our community.
But white people aren't killing other white people in crime, gun violence situation. They're doing it in a different way.
They absolutely are killing each other.
I'm not saying that they're not killing each other. What I'm saying is they're killing their people in different ways than us.
Does that make it better or worse?
It doesn't make it better or worse. I do believe that
into all of our communities. They put prescription drugs into all of our communities.
What I'm saying is the gun specifically, for instance, when it comes to mass shootings, doesn't make Black people. I'm sorry. Let me rephrase this. If somebody in a white neighborhood predominantly has a mass shooting in their school, like Oxford, Michigan, that just happened, 4 beautiful teenagers are dead because a stupid 15-year-old boy decided to shoot up the school. That is more scary and more dangerous than some gangbang situation in Chicago. To me, you're in supposed to be in a safe, gun-free zone area, and some kid can just shoot up. That is so scary. But the media does not talk about it in a dangerous way. They don't say white people are dangerously killing other kids. Could you imagine if a Black kid went to a school and shot up 4 white kids? Could you imagine?
Not going to present it. We already know why, but that doesn't mean that it is.
The way the media portrays it, it keeps white people with money in those towns and keeps white kids in those schools, and nothing changes. Planning and zoning, Starbucks, good foods, nothing changes. But what happens in the Black community, and this is why it disproportionately affects the Black community, because when there is so much little crimes pertaining to gun violence, white people don't move into our towns, and they deem us dangerous, and they put it on the news constantly. Black man just got shot by another Black man in Chicago. Then Fox News overuses this narrative that we are dangerous.
I got
do you
call.
understand?
I'm sorry.
Okay, go ahead. Okay, so I don't think you guys understand.
No, I already took it.
It disproportionately affects us due to the way the media portrays it on the news on a day-to-day basis. They freaking talk the words that they use. Today, another mass shooting. So sad. I want to send the condolences to the families that lost their kids at Sandy Hook.
Don't judge me.
Lost their kids. Do you understand how the media talks about gun violence when it comes to a white on white crime, and when they talk about Black on Black crime, they go, it's constantly on the news over and over again.
But with the violence,
with
the gun, if we're going to talk about gun violence in the Black communities, why is your solution to take the guns away versus increasing the resources for education in the Black community, increasing the opportunities for Black people in the community, increasing the safety? The police are there to keep us safe, not put us in jail all the damn time.
Because I'm trying to dismantle and ameliorate the narrative that we're dangerous.
But why is your process to take guns away?
Because we wouldn't be dangerous. and the most murderous race pertaining to Candace Owens that they love so much on the right. If we didn't have deadly weapons,
Do you see how sometimes you
worse,
can perpetuate
and
the
worse.
narrative?
What I'm telling you is the mere fact that Black people are 4 times more, children and teens are 14 times more likely to be shot.
Glaucomo, can you hear her?
I can, yeah. It's on your end, I think. I can hear it perfectly.
Okay, I hear you, but she's a little low for me. I'll turn it up. It's okay. Go ahead, Andre. I'm sorry.
Okay, let's read. Black Americans are 10 times more likely than white Americans to die from gun homicide. Don't you
What's
think
this source?
Why would that matter what source it is? You think this
Because I need to make sure that it's credible information. That's all. You don't think that's important?
No, I don't. I don't think.
Well, to her point, news sites like that will take FBI data and parse it to tell a story.
I just want to know how they drew that conclusion. I like to do my own research personally.
Of course. Okay, but what I'm saying is you can't just think all things reported is fake news.
I can most definitely prove that some news that is reported is fake news. And we're not going to sit here on a platform and perpetuate without providing a credible source.
Okay, well, I'll send you the link at the end of this.
Okay.
But let's just say this is true. Black Americans are 10 times more likely than white Americans to die from gun homicide. And are you denying that Black people kill each other at high rates in this country?
No, I'm not. I don't know about high rates because I don't know what that comparison is to.
Oh my God.
Are you saying that Black people kill each other by gun violence more than white people? Is that what you're saying?
That's exactly what I'm saying. And that's just facts.
Well, to that point, Brady's got to get the information probably from FBI or BCIS data.
Correct.
And I studied statistics when I was in college. There's a way you can twist those numbers and make it say anything you want to based on a 51% or 50.1% majority of the data presented to you. Now, there's no
Latinos are just, I know you're saying that. I'm sorry. Somebody said something that, how about Latinos? I'm about to show you. Latinos are right.
You can look at the current data associated with the COVID pandemic. We have a lot of numbers saying COVID deaths, when in actuality, this person had a stroke or they had something else, but they just happen to also have COVID, but it's going to be listed as a COVID death.
Y'all better listen.
Miss Purdy Lady, how is that going to create solutions to change this narrative that people are saying online that we're dying dramatically due to gun violence deaths? And I just want to show you this. If you're like, they say Latinx. I know some of my Latino friends say they don't like to be called Latinx. For some reason, it's just a scholarly way to say Latino or Hispanic. Just take it for what it's worth. But look at this. Look at this. This is the gun deaths among Latinx people. This is suicide. Oh, homicide. I'm sorry. Homicide, I believe, is the light blue. Suicide is the dark blue. And these are unintentional. You guys have to understand that Latinos are dying dramatically too due to gun violence. You guys are affected just as much.
Absolutely.
What are the white stats? You gonna pull those up?
Okay, yeah, I will. But let me just. It's a problem when I talk about gun deaths. I'm talking pertaining to homicide. I'm not talking about mass shootings. And that's what we're going to talk about. Once we talk about mass shootings,
do you think that white people don't die in alarming numbers by homicide?
Look, just take a look at this and tell me what you think. There's other races after this. The red is black. This is suicides disproportionately affecting Black Americans. When I say 90%,
you mean homicides, right?
Homicides disproportionately affecting Black. This is the rate. This is the bar. This is the graph.
Yeah, I'm not arguing that it's not an issue. I'm not arguing that Black people aren't dying in large numbers by gun violence. What I'm arguing is that taking the guns away is not the solution.
Not a
Okay,
bit.
so this is what I just read. I recently, if I can remember, that over 40,000 people die annually due to gun-related deaths in America. And out of that 40,000 Americans, 60% of that is Black people being killed by homicide.
Let me jump in real quick on that. Do you remember? You ever watch the movie Friday by any chance? Have you ever watched the movie Friday with Chris Tucker and Ice Cube?
Yeah.
What happened at the end of Friday? And I actually worked with Debo, as a matter of fact, 2 movies. What happened at the end of Friday?
Rest in
Now,
peace.
Q was about to go into the house and get a gun, and Pop said, no, handle it with your hands. And even though
Yeah,
Debo,
I love that part.
6'2", I'm 6'2". Debo is 6'7". Well, he passed away, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Q made but about 5'4". He's a little dude. I met him as well. I've been on
Is
LA
he?
and Q is little. Q is a shrimp, big time. But the point of that was, okay, handle that with your hands. That kind of fatherly advice and discipline is not so much absent, but in short supply in the Black community. Like, don't go out there with a gun. You're going to perpetuate this thing we're trying to get away from the Black community, which is how violent we are perceived to be. So, you got a problem with somebody, talk it out, go to the fists. And
If I could, let's just say somebody with a lot of money in politics found my show, that the first thing I would do is create associations where we go to these high schools and even elementary schools and talk to these Black kids and give them other recourses to take instead of using deadly weapons. I think one thing beautiful about being Black that maybe white people don't know about is that we have a lot of street codes. There's a lot of things that Black people do as far as culturally that involves a cultural code that we really sometimes don't even cross. Like not sleeping with, I don't think Black women really like when you sleep around with your best friend's man and all that.
I would hope no woman would.
Yeah, exactly. No, you don't sleep with your man or your woman or whatever. Like cheating is really not looked good upon. Okay, how about not snitching? Snitches get stitches. This is something that Black people are like, nah, I ain't snitching. There are some Black dudes that would rather go to jail in due time than snitch on their homeboy. That's a street code. What I want to do is create a street code that says Black men don't kill another Black man.
Wait, so let's say that
we don't do that. We might
say
kick
that
your ass.
Guns are illegal, right? That they make it illegal to own guns. Do you think that's going to keep them off the street?
No.
Or do you think we're going to have another reason for mass incarceration of Black people?
Listen, then Black people need to stop doing crimes.
That's real. That is real.
We need to stop breaking the law. The 1995 crime bill, Kamala Harris put all these Black men in jail. Well, why were they breaking the law? The Black Caucus even supported the 1994 crime bill because guess what? There are Black people that don't mind living in these underfunded towns, but guess what? They don't feel freaking safe. There are Black people that don't feel safe.
Do you understand that it's not that Black people are committing crimes at a larger rate, that we're over-policed, that we are policed more than others?
That's a lie.
That's not a lie.
I can't agree with that. I'm from the hood.
I'm going to tell you right now that I'm not a conservative, but you guys are pushing me to be conservative to sit there and say that Black people are just over policed. No, we're doing a lot of crime.
So you're saying that 13% of the population filling over 70% of the prisons is because Black people commit crimes that much more?
Yeah. Sorry.
You're delusional.
Guess what?
And I think you have a skewed and inaccurate
guess what?
Perception of Black people and the Black community.
I don't want to lose another friend. I don't want to lose you as a friend. I'm just telling you the truth.
Yeah, I understand, and we can be friends, but I can't be friends with someone who looks at a Black community inaccurately and going to say that they're committing crimes at that much higher of a rate than other races.
Guess what that's called? Black fragility. I'm not going to coddle Black fragility.
Black fragility?
I can't do it.
Oh my goodness.
I can't coddle Black fragility.
Hey, but to that end, let me give you an analogy. If you've got
I don't break the law.
Cockroaches in your house, when you call Terminex, you don't have them spray for rats. You have them spray for roaches. I'm from Newark, New Jersey. We invented carjacking, for crying out loud. They had to increase street patrols in my neighborhood to combat a new phenomena in crime, which is people going to somewhere with a gun and pulling you out your car. The police didn't show up until that started to happen. We started that. If it goes away, the police will probably go away. That's all my only take on that.
Exactly.
We have to stop doing it.
That's all I'm saying.
I disagree. I encourage both of you to look up where the police evolved from, where that organization.
No, ma'am.
That
No,
sounds
ma'am. I
like-
live in the
and
area. I'm from the hood.
It's not
I
an
know
excuse.
her.
It's a fact.
No, ma'am.
It's gonna sound like an excuse, Andre, if you don't agree with it, but it's a fact.
Ma'am,
sounds like an
the
excuse.
police were
Do you
started in the
think black people are
1600s in
too
Great
dumb
Britain.
to
Not
to
slave. I know.
to-
I've
to
heard that
just
narrative.
Not
Not
break
true.
the law?
I didn't speak anything to Black intelligence. I personally graduated from an HBCU full of intelligent Black people.
That's great. But you also
I
have a
degreed
gun
from
in your
Seton Hall University. I was an English
Yes,
major.
I have a
don't-
gun in my house because if someone comes in here while I'm in here, they will not be walking back out.
But due to
But I
proximity,
will.
But due to proximity, statistically, you're probably going to use that gun on someone you love or somebody that you know might get your gun, or that gun might harm somebody some way or form.
Yes, the gun is made to harm somebody. It's not made for hugs and kisses.
Well,
I got to agree with
want
you
hugs.
there.
I want more hugs and kisses in our world. I would like more
Well, the
hugs and
sad
kisses.
thing is, statistically speaking,
Turn the
if
other
somebody's
cheek.
breaking into your house,
So
it's
many
going to be
black
another
people
black
talk
person.
about
That's
theirs.
got to
Let me tell
stop
you this.
too.
Let me tell you this. So many black people go to church on Sunday talking about, I love God and I love this, but don't do anything God said. God says to love thy neighbor.
Black people
God
are not
says
the
to-
only ones going to church
Hold
doing
on.
that. Why do you
God
keep
even
keeping
says-
things exclusive to the Black community?
Because I'm black.
That's
But
our
you're
problem.
very
About
out
my
of touch
people
with the Black.
not dying by the gun.
You don't live in a Black neighborhood. You're not.
I live in
educated on Black
Connecticut, next to New Haven County. My man's a correctional officer in the middle of a black community. Do you know how much that hurts me? When I have to drop him off a sandwich. And I live one town over from
It
New
hurts
Haven
you to
County.
go into a Black community?
What?
It hurts you to go into a Black community?
On my dead grandparents, it hurts me so freaking bad as a realtor to see my black people living in filth.
And ma'am, I have to agree with her. I drive Uber here in South Carolina. Whenever I go and pick up somebody in the hood, they're always stinking like marijuana, living in squalor. Not 100%, but like 80, 90%. Got a kid out of wedlock. I'm like, excuse me, why are you making these bad choices? And you don't own a car and you live like this?
So you're telling me
Or, of
that
course,
white
he's
people
covered in
don't live in
tattoos as
filth?
well.
White people don't reek of marijuana? You know why they don't reek
That's
of
not our
marijuana?
problem. Our
Because their
problem
drug
is
choice
correcting the
may
problems
not
in the black
smell.
community.
You can't smell meth. You can't smell
Ma'am,
cocaine.
we can. Well, you know
can't
what?
smell
I'll be very
fentanyl.
honest with
Do
you.
you-
When
do
I
you
go to
not-
trailer parks as well,
Bernie,
I have the
do you-
same problem.
Do you not
But-
know what disproportionate is?
What makes you think I don't know what disproportionate means?
You
When we
went to
just talked
college,
about how
right?
Black people are disproportionately
Right.
incarcerated.
So that's the problem, is that we're disproportionately affected with gun violence. We're
I don't give a
disproportionately
damn if they're
affected.
smoking weed. I actually think that it should be legalized.
Why would
Some
you
people
want to
don't like
put
the smell.
smoke in your lungs?
Yeah.
Ain't
You know, have you
nobody
smoked-
that
I
know
don't
that
smoke.
ain't
but if that's
nobody
what
that
someone
I know
chooses to do,
smoke weed
that's their
is productive.
choice. Versus
You
making
want-
shit like fentanyl legal, making Oxycontin legal. Why is that shit legal but marijuana is not? Because it
Because
it
ain't
gives them a
nobody smoking
reason
weed
to
working.
incarcerate people of color.
I believe also drugs are plaguing the black community. How many black men are killing each other over a freaking few bags, dime bags?
Drugs are plagued
Yes,
in
ma'am.
every community, Andre.
Yes,
it is
ma'am.
not exclusive to the black community.
Disproportionately affecting.
Disproportionately. Said it.
Disproportionately is the key word.
It does not disproportionately affect. You cannot say that black people use drugs more when they are simply over policed and caught with it more often.
So if they're
because they're not in
over-policed-
these white neighborhoods, they're not
if they're-
in these white houses.
Okay.
They're not stopping and
Okay.
frisking these white
What
kids.
I want to ask you is why are, and I do believe this, and this is just a theory. I believe that the tax money in predominant black neighborhoods are gypping the educational system, taking that money, a piece of it, which is why I believe our schools have stigmas, and putting it towards policing, hiring more police. These police are not cheap. You would think if our towns were over policed, wouldn't that make our towns safer?
They're not there to make us safe. They're there to put us in jail and prison. Are you
telling
serious?
me
Wow.
that we have more police?
Ma'am,
and we have
this
more
bump on my
crime?
nose I got right here is from a black man because I bumped up against him in an arcade when I was 14. A white man didn't do this to me. A black man did. Put me in the hospital for a week and a half.
I'm not saying that black people don't commit crimes. That's not what I'm saying.
But the point of the
you cannot
conversation is how we
argue that the
prey
black
upon each
communities
other.
are
That's the
not
most important thing.
over-policed.
Yeah.
Ma'am,
I think you're
you
making
know where this
me and
happened?
him
This
look
happened
like
in Newark,
conservatives.
not in South Orange where I went to school. Okay.
Listen,
now, when I lived
know
in
that there's
Newark,
behind it, but what I'm saying in 1994, why did we accept the crack? The whole crack thing. FBI was
Who
dropping
put the crack there?
in our.
Where'd the crack come from?
But why are we smoking
why
it?
did we pick it up? Why did we take it?
And it wasn't just us. You think that black people are the only ones who smoke crack?
Disproportionately
Oh my
affected
gosh.
us.
But you know what? Let's go back a little bit. We've had freebase in the black community since the early 1970s before crack cocaine. Richard Pryor
can you
was
please
doing
repeat that?
freebase before the
And,
crack era.
and who's dying from Oxycontin and fentanyl?
But why are we talking about them? It's about us. It's about our. It's
Yeah,
about
we're
our
talking
people.
about our
Their skin color here.
No,
They
because you're not going to continue.
They can handle their
black
problems.
community
This is about
and not
us and
point out that there are
self-improvement.
issues in every community.
Can you do me a favor? Can you understand that I love my people and I'm trying to help them?
And I think you're going about it
How
the wrong
can
way
I
because
help
every
my
time
people?
you open your mouth, you have something negative to say about black people
Well,
and the
stop
black
being
community.
so negative.
You have not said a
Negative.
positive thing yet.
Guess what? You know what? I haven't said nothing positive about my people. Are you kidding me?
No, you have not.
Okay, well, let me tell you something. I think that our people is survivor, like serial survivors. You know what we've been through as a people? And I'm talking about my ancestors in Texas, my great-grandmother picking cotton. I'm telling you that I come from strong black women that don't even need a freaking man, that are willing to work 3-4 jobs and do what they got to do to take care of their freaking kids. But what I'm telling you is I'm not going to lie and say that I don't know black women collecting Section 8 and having full barbershops in their freaking basement collecting money under the table. You guys are living in low income
Look up
housing.
the welfare stats and tell me who receives more welfare.
I don't care about that. We got.
So how are you
Not
going to
about
sit
that life.
here and say that you're saying something
So you
positive
wanna
about the
make-
black
guess
community
what?
and
Your-
turn around
your-
in the same sentence and say something negative as
Guess
hell?
what?
That's
Your
inaccurate.
excuses. Guess what? Your excuses hurt our people.
Let me show you an
Your
You're
example.
bullshit and you're
When you point a finger at
perpetuating
somebody else,
ideas
you got
of
3 fingers
stereotypes
pointing back at
hurts
you,
the black
sis.
community.
That's what I'm
Okay.
saying. We're gonna sit there and make all these excuses for our people. We're just gonna continue to make all.
They're
these
not
and
excuses,
nothing's gonna
but we're
be
not
fixed.
gonna sit here and act like these issues
We
are
do
exclusive
crack
to the
because
black
they gave it
community.
Other
to us.
people do it, so we can do it too, right? Come on, sis. You know
No,
better than
black
that.
other
people-
people do it, so come as hard and talk about and shit talk them as much as you shit talk your own people.
Wow,
Oh my
went to
God.
potty
You
mouth.
think
Goodness
telling my
sakes.
people to not
I
break
thought
the
you had a
law
degree,
is
sis. Come
shitting
on.
on my people by telling them not
Yeah,
to break
because
the
this
law?
I'm getting emotional because this is pissing me off. I got a black
Oh.
woman and a black
Just
man
calm
sitting
down.
here dogging the black community like
Wow,
it's
you're
okay.
so wounded. You
Just-
can't stifle your
They-
emotions
this
to have a
happened to
calm
Haiti. This
conversation
happened
with
to me
2 other
yesterday
people.
with Haiti. She did the same
What's
thing.
up
that
with?
you
Come
did.
on.
It's
Hey, look, I'm a combat veteran. Do you see me flying off the handle like that? This conversation right now? I've watched people bleed to death. It's not that important. You got something you want to
And
talk about, by
don't
all
come
means.
for my
But it's
use
not
of curse
about what they're
words
doing. It's about
and
what
equate
we're
it to my
doing to each
education at all,
other.
because we can pull degrees if we need to.
okay. Well, pull
Fantastic.
degrees and also
3.6
pull
GPA,
statistics
Seton Hall
to the
University. I
homicidal
started
rates
school
with
when I
black
was
people.
16. Come at me.
Good for you. 4.0 with a master's in education from Lamar and
So
a
you're so
3.8 from my
educated
undergrad at
and you
Dillard
understand.
University.
Okay.
So let's
Really?
not
Did you
come for
start school when you were
education
16?
because I get passionate about how
Did you start
two
school when you were
how
16
two
like I
people
did,
of
without a
color
dad in the
are
house?
speaking on our community negatively constantly?
Because
Sorry,
it's our issue, not I don't give a rat's
You don't
butt
get
about
it.
the
She
people in
doesn't
the
understand.
trailer park over here. This is our issue. We need to solve these problems so we can stop this generational conflict of
Yes.
drugs and violence in the Black community.
Yes.
They can solve their
And
problems.
yet you're
It's about
sitting here
us.
letting her allowing her to say that the resolution is to take guns. We're not going
Yes.
to address education. We're not
But
going
you
to
know
address
what? I don't
food
agree on
sources.
that
Wait,
point.
hold
We're not
on.
We
going to
talked about
address
that
Now you're
earlier.
gonna
We
make
don't
things
agree
we're
on
worse.
that
not going
point
to
at
look at
all.
any of those things.
Oh,
We're
did
just
you
simply
not
going to bring it
understand?
down to it's because Black people own guns.
This is what
But
I'm.
you know, that's a
Can I
microcosm of the
defend
problem,
myself for a second?
unfortunately.
Can
It's
I
got
say
this much to
something
do
you,
with it.
Purdy? Miss Purdy, can I say something to you? Because I want to answer what you just said. Because you made things up about me, and I don't like that.
I didn't
You
make
just-
things up. People have screen recordings of you talking shit about the Black community.
Hey,
It's
guess
all around
what?
TikTok.
It's not only me. Guess what?
Stephanie Hall called you
Guess
out on it,
what?
and you were like, "Oh, I don't remember saying that." Just because you don't remember saying it doesn't mean you didn't say it.
Guess what? Candace Owens is 10 times worse than me. She's 10 times worse than me. So go screen record her. She's still worth $2 million. And I'm on my
Oh,
freaking
so
way.
because she's worth
I'm
money,
on my
it's
way.
okay. Because she's worth money, it's okay. Because you make $60,000 a year,
She's
it's
worth
okay.
$2 million because white people agree with her.
Who gives a fuck who white people agree with?
Oh, there we go
Because
again.
Are you going? Is that what you're going for?
Here
Agreeing
you
to
go,
white
sis.
people? Because
Here you
that's
go.
what it seems like you're
Right
protecting.
across
Candace
the lips.
Owens is
Right
a
across the
freaking
lips.
genius. She
Wash that
used
mouth out.
real facts to combat our
Grow up
issues.
and handle
Black people
curse
keep
words.
making
They're just
excuses.
curse words.
I think
That's
I-
it.
Hey, Candace,
Yeah,
I think
I've
I
heard them while
became a
people were
Candace
shooting
Owens
at me in
fan.
combat.
I think
How
I might
about
become a
you?
Republican.
You do some
because
because you
black
use a
people
punchline. You
don't
can't bring your
wanna
point
freaking
across
If
without
I want to
cursing.
curse, I'm an adult and I'm gonna curse. How about that?
Because you don't know how to speak any other way, you poor thing. All your degrees you got behind you, and you don't know how to talk like a grown-up.
No,
You
all the
poor
degrees
thing.
I have behind me, and I'm strong and independent, and realize that I don't
And
have
you're
to do what somebody
overtly
that doesn't
emotional,
even know
and you get
me
triggered
is telling me
easily,
to do.
and you've
How
got an
about that?
emotional
I
issue
don't
you need to
have to
deal
listen
with.
to you. Do you pay a bill? Did you?
Your
did
bills? You don't pay mine,
impregnate my
sis.
mother?
You don't pay,
Are
and you
me
get
is
triggered
telling me to
easily,
do.
and you've
How
got an
about that?
emotional
I
issue you
don't
need to
have to
deal
listen
with.
to you. Do you pay a bill? Did you?
Your
did
bills? You don't pay mine,
impregnate my
sis.
mother?
You don't pay
Are
mine.
you even in my family? No.
Okay.
What?
I don't have to do what you
Oh,
say.
but I'm calling you out because you don't know how to be articulate and speak
I do know how
without
to
using
be
four-letter
articulate when
words.
it's necessary.
Prove it and stop getting emotional.
I don't have to prove a damn thing to
Exactly.
you. Who are you?
because you can't do it.
Bring
Because
the
you can't.
facts.
I
do
don't
it.
have to
Everybody
prove a
here
damn
watching
thing to
you.
you.
Saw you get all.
You're a little man in a little box on a screen.
Fuck shit, damn. Oh my god.
Okay. Guess what? Now we can have a real conversation.
Oh my
Welcome to my
God.
world. And let me tell you something. You handled that beautifully.
These people make me insane. They want
And
to
that's
make
how I
me
feel on a
start
daily
cursing.
basis. I
Oh
had
my
to get, I
God.
had to let her go because she can't listen. She gotta calm down. Why are you so fragile, sis?
Oh
Why
my
are you
God.
so fragile?
It's because people don't agree with people and they want so much to be accepted. And when they're not accepted, they start with the hyperventilating and the 150 beats per minute heart rate. It doesn't work. And they go to the gutter language. Again, I'm from the hood. I've watched people die in combat. It's like, if anybody, I should be dropping F-bombs every 5 minutes. And I don't, because I want people to hear what I have to say and consider the point of view that I have to bring across. It's got to be that way.
Guess what? If our people aren't capable of understanding in order to fix our neighborhoods and our issues, we got to talk about them. And I do believe, because it's actually facts, that guns are affecting our communities disproportionately, that our way of spending money, we are horrible with our money.
Absolutely.
It's disproportionately affecting us. I'm trying to get our communities to be desirable. They're not desirable because they have
desirable.
high crime. High crime. Do you think I'm going to talk about white people? If of course, mass shootings are freaking horrible that these are going on in more predominant white neighborhoods, and white people are killing
absolutely.
other white kids. White kids are killing other white kids, but guess what? It doesn't affect them disproportionately. Their real estate market doesn't go down. They don't leave their schools. Actually, nothing freaking changes, to be honest. Now
These things are an anomaly as well. And I lived in South Orange a little while, to the north of Newark. You don't see these things. You don't see the dirty neighborhoods and the broken windows everywhere. And when somebody gets an issue like a rundown house, people come together and say, look, listen, bro, if you don't mow your lawn, we're going to call the police on you because you're violating the city charter for having an unmanicured lawn. Boy, if we did that in the hood, you would never see half the violence we go through, unfortunately, because we would care about each other and how our houses look and how we present ourselves to each other and to the greater community at large.
That's the jam. You said it so eloquently. I swear to God, I'm gonna
very expensive education behind me, trust me.
I'm telling you, that was so eloquently put that I'm gonna put it on my YouTube channel and take
Please
notes.
do.
Yeah,
you better tag me in it. Real talk.
I will. I definitely will. I know I'm already following you, but no. Seriously, send me a message, please. Send me a message. Yeah, I am following you. Okay.
Yeah, you are already. Absolutely.
Send me a message so I can tag you. I want to share this on YouTube because let me tell you something, Miss Purdy, if you're here, I really just wanted you to understand a different perspective. I know that you are passionate about well, I really don't think you're uplifting our people by making excuses for it. That's absolutely my problem. Is that you're making excuses. What I'm trying to do is clean our streets. I'm trying to create a new mentality that Black people can invest in real estate. Don't buy cars, buy houses. Stop spending all of
things
your
that
money
appreciate
on horrible food. Invest in bananas. Do you understand that African people eat from like the tree? They eat healthy. Have you ever gone to Jamaica? They love papaya and all these healthy foods. African people's bodies are not meant for this oil, fried, greasy food. The food
salt,
is freaking
sugar.
Killing us.
Yeah.
Disproportionately. You understand? We have got to stop eating this crap. Why you go to a white neighborhood, you see Whole Foods everywhere. Okay, you see Whole Foods and all these healthy market stores. You go to a Black neighborhood, you see Chinese food, Burger King, Taco Bell, all these crap. Who's okay in planning and zoning these restaurants in our neighborhoods?
We don't say no.
We don't say. We don't say we
no.
don't go to the town meetings. You know what
exactly.
I'm saying?
Oh, peep this. I went to city council meeting and complained about a lack of a stop sign here in my neighborhood. Do you know I was the only person to get up and speak to the city council? Say, listen, you need a three-way stop sign here. No Black people in attendance. We have 2 Black city council members. There was nobody there but me. And I said, this is your community. I just moved here 3 years ago. I care more about it than you folks do. Exactly. Oh my goodness, why? But it's a learned behavior, unfortunately, because their parents didn't, their grandparents didn't, their great-grandparents were not allowed to. But that was, I'm sorry, 90, 200 years ago, perhaps. We own this place now. It's time to start getting involved.
Listen, if you guys are going to start hating me in the comments like Candace Owens, I'm going to need that Candace Owens money.
Hey, we need you on the right, sis. More thinking.
Listen, people. I hate Donald Trump, so I will never be a Republican. I will never. But you guys are making me become a conservative. I'm not gonna lie. The more I do have a cultural shock on TikTok because I'm from Hawaii. Not all Black people are the same. I'm an island girl, so my mentality is different. I'm telling you, guys are making me become a conservative. Stop it. I'm a Democrat. Okay.
Hey, my battery's about to die, so I gotta go.
Can you guys hear me?
Can I tell you? You were the best co-host I ever had. Ever.
Hang on.
Well, because I agree with a lot of your politics. I love it. All right, I'll tag you. You're the best.
Love you, sis. Be well. Have a good night.
Yeah.
Absolutely love him. Go ahead.
Can you hear me all right?
Right now, let's go.
Is my audio good?
Yeah.
What's up?
Oh, it's good? Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, I was like in this live for maybe like 20, almost 30 minutes. And I'm not gonna lie, I've been keeping count of how many times, a person says Black, and I lost count when I passed, and that was only like 20 minutes. My question is, I just want to ask, a very simple question. Like a very simple question, and the answer should be very simple.
Go ahead. What was the question?
He was breaking up real bad.
Can,
I can hear you.
is it good now?
What's the question?
Okay. Just this, the question is like who would you say a Chinese man is?
I'm sorry, what was that?
I'm gonna leave and come back because I hear an echo
Okay.
from my voice.
All right. All right. Go ahead.
All right, so as a former fire captain, I've been here for a while, and I kept getting pushed back. But I'm a former fire captain. I have 5 life saves. Didn't care who the people were at all when I was going to a call. The thing is, I know somebody needed help. All right. Now, my thing is, I don't have a black-white thing. I don't have a racial thing at all. What I have is, what are you doing that got you into that situation? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, I've been to a few calls where a firearm has saved multiple lives. Why is the firearm the issue if, I don't know, maybe not the situation being the problem?
Because people are misusing the firearm in not only the black community, but as well as the white community. It is plaguing our country. It is a public crisis. People are misusing their gun rights. The Second Amendment has been so abused. The laws in this country are too loose. There are some states, it's a state by state, town by town issue, but they're not across the board the same laws. The laws in Texas pertaining to the gun is a lot more looser, because you can have a right to conceal and carry and walk around your Walmart. Anybody can just walk around crazy with their freaking gun. We need stricter gun laws. There are other countries that restricted the gun. I'm not saying we should ban the gun. There are some countries that went that far. They banned the gun. What I'm saying is that's never going to happen in America because you guys are too crazy with your guns. What I'm saying is we need to restrict them. Nobody in their house should have these massively deadly weapons like the AR-15. You guys love the AR-15 so much. And you guys know how many times a young kid has gotten a hold of an AR-15 and used that gun and went to schools and shot them up. White kids are dropping like flies. Beautiful, healthy baby Sandy Hook. It is 9-year anniversary. Those kids were at school.
Okay.
That boy in my state, in Connecticut, shot the mom. She died probably from her own gun that she freaking allowed her son to play with. Went to the school, shot up those kids, shot up the teachers. Then shot himself, and even the dad committed suicide because he couldn't live with himself.
Yeah.
Why does this keep happening more so in the white community? We talked about black. Listen, so many goddamn excuses. It makes me want to become a conservative today. It's so freaking ridiculous how many black people come here and make excuses. Well, we have guns because the white men gave it to us. No, that's not true. That's a complete freaking lie. Anyway, let's talk about white people. Why are you guys giving your guns to your kids and your kids are killing other people's kids at school at freaking lunchtime? Why is that happening if you guys are all law-abiding citizens?
Now, wait a minute. Hang on. I'm 100% civil.
You guys are such haters in the freaking comments. Go ahead.
Don't think about the comments. Don't look at the comments. Let's talk. Me and you.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Thank you, CS
So
Raffle.
there you go with the comments. Anyway,
Sorry, I'm trying to talk to you, but what can you say when I'm talking about mass shootings plaguing our country?
now, hey, you know what? I'm with you 100%. But what do you think that caused this? And I have an idea right here. But what do you think caused this?
Parents are not doing what they're supposed to be doing. 1 out of 3 homes, they have their guns loose in their house. They're not
Mm-hmm.
locking them up. I was just doing this with you guys last night. Norway, one of the laws that we can enact here in America is the mere fact that Norway doesn't just allow you to have your gun and lock it up. They actually have a specific type of lockbox, and it has to be attached to your wall like a fixture. It can't just be a loose box with a little code that anybody can get into and break into. There has to be specifically like if you were going to have a fire and where your fire is supposed to be like an emergency thing if you have your gun. And
So
I'm
they can
sorry,
break the glass?
you don't need a gun with over 30 bullets and magazines in your house. I'm pretty sure somebody's intruding your house. If you have like a regular handgun, like a regular normal Glock, I mean, I don't know a specific style, maybe a 9mm or something like that. How many is that a semi-automatic? I'm still educating myself
Yes.
on the styles of guns. Is a 9mm a Glock? And how many bullets
No.
does a
A 9mm is basically made for a semi-automatic platform.
So it is a very deadly. So can you give me a style rifle that maybe has 6 bullets and takes a pull to pull, like it doesn't like go, doesn't have like an automatic like it doesn't have an automatic intent. And you have to actually, pull the trigger and then 1 bullet pops out. Pull the trigger, then 1 bullet pops. What kind of gun is that? A revolver? Okay, so Purdy, I said a revolver.
You if you could pull Purdy back in here, and I know
Well, if
y'all
Purdy wants
just
to come
had-
back, but I can't be here
y'all
until 3 o'clock in the morning.
Okay,
Like,
well, and
I
the
ain't been
thing is, and I understand what you're saying. What you're saying is a revolver, and Joe Biden said a shotgun, pump shotgun. You have to pull it, squeeze the trigger, pull it, squeeze the trigger, pull it, squeeze the trigger. But do you realize that every time I pull the trigger on a shotgun, that's 9 rounds going down range at the same time with 1 squeeze of the trigger?
how much damage do you think that can do to a human being?
It's the most devastating weapon that we have available to us. An AR-15.
Yeah, and I don't think we need those.
An AR-15 is nothing. That's a 22.
Okay, Pop one. I'm letting you on, but if you talk crap, you're gonna go.
Talk. Okay. I
see
never
your
talk crap.
comments, and I'm not really in the mood for any trolls. So go ahead.
I don't troll, and I don't talk crap, and I don't troll, especially the black women.
I do see you in the comments. You really come out the pocket. Like I do read some of the comments, and I do see your comments.
Yeah,
They
but
really
I don't say anything trolling or talking crap though.
Okay.
I
Keep
speak
it
facts.
respectful. Thank you. Okay, go ahead.
Unlike the last guy that was on before, and he started attacking a black woman. I don't attack
no,
black
he
women.
was not attacked. Don't do that to my friend.
Tone policing and all that. Why are you talking like that? And blah blah blah. Come on now.
She was
That was
being
unnecessary.
okay, let me tell you this. I've done this too. I'm not innocent. I do get emotional sometimes. I'm working on it. These are very sensitive subjects, and I understand that you're going to get emotional. But when you can't ascertain freaking facts, that's a problem. Sorry,
Yeah,
Bernie.
she was speaking facts, and he was getting more upset than anybody else. But anyway, all like a whole hour ago when I first got on.
I thought she was being disrespectful, to be honest.
A whole hour ago, when I first got on, the first thing you guys were talking about was firearms, and then I just sat here this whole time and watched everything just digress in the, I don't know, just so many things that I don't want to talk about because I don't want to get that passionate or whatever. I was just talking to my girlfriend literally 1 minute before you accepted this request, and I was telling her, I was like, I want to speak a little bit, but I just don't know, like,
Why are
with
you so
just,
upset about gun control?
oh no, I'm not about gun control at all. I wanted to
That's
make
the
some
only thing
points
we've been
about gun
talking about.
control. No, but everything else about the black community and things like that.
And
I live
gun
in
control,
Montana. All right. Let me give you some background about myself. So that way I could tell you about why I have different points of views that actually go in a lot of different ways when I really break it down. I'm from New York. I grew up without a father, but that's because he died at a young age. I grew up without a mother because she ran away. I was raised by my grandmother. I was raised by an old grandmother that was born in 1912. I'm 41 years old. I was raised by the older generation, not people that were born in the 50s. I was raised by somebody who was born in 1912. So that's a perspective too. I grew up in South Carolina. So that's a whole different perspective than growing up when I was younger in New York, I went to high school in South Carolina. And then I went in the military. I didn't go right at 18 like a lot of people did. I went at 20 just because when I was 20, I just didn't know what else to do. And I was bored one day and I literally woke up one morning and was like, I'm going to go in the army. No rhyme or reason behind it, even though all my uncles and stuff were in the military. It had nothing to do with that. It was out of boredom one day. So anyway, that's part of my background. After I came out of the military a few years later, I caught a felony because of a situation that had to do with a family member or whatever, and I defended myself or whatever. And I was young and didn't understand the court system at the time, so I took a plea deal, just like most people do, because I was scared. I didn't know if I was going to get 10, 15 years in prison or whatever, so I took my
What was
plea
the
deal or
felony
whatever.
for? I'm sorry, what was the felony for?
Basically, the actual charge that I pled guilty to was felony assault and felony assault with the intent to kill.
With the
And
gun?
it's because no, with my hands, because my uncle attacked me and he tried to stab me, and I made sure he
talked
wouldn't.
to you before. I remember talking to
Have
you.
we talked before?
Yes, and you ended up killing your uncle?
No, he died like 6 months later.
Yeah, I talked to you. Yeah.
Oh, but no, I didn't kill him. God killed him.
You hurt him bad and he was old, so he ended up dying because of his injuries.
Yeah, that makes more sense. I guess we did talk before.
No, I remember you because
Okay.
I feel, and I don't mean to make you feel bad, but you got into a fight with him. I forgot the reason why, but he was
he attacked me.
He attacked you.
me.
He hurt him pretty bad, right? You hurt him pretty bad. He died.
Yeah, well, God decided that was his time or whatever. But anyway, yeah, I was just giving like some more back. I didn't realize that we actually spoke before. I'm actually new to sobriety. Like I was saying before about David. I mean, I was listening to him talk to somebody else last night when he first got on. The first thing I was saying in the comments, and no, I'm not a troll, I just speak truth. I'm like, that dude's drunk, because people were sitting there in a different live and they were saying, oh, this guy's going to say some racist shit. And as soon as he started talking, I'm like, no, he's just going to get off topic because he's drunk. I'm an alcoholic. I know what it looks like when somebody's drunk.
Was he on the show? What's the guy's name that was drinking?
David, that was just on just now. I'm talking about last night when he was on somebody else's live. When he was on somebody else's live, it was a lot of things. It was a live about systemic racism, and he was there. And this other guy right here is saying David's cool. He's not racist. That's what I'm saying. Last night, if you remember, a lot of people saw David and was like, oh, he's going to start saying racist shit. And I was in the comments like, no, he's going to start talking drunk people stuff and get like,
what's wrong with having a few drinks, man? What's wrong with having a few drinks?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I was like, I recognized it immediately, and I was defending him.
This is what I want to talk. I don't know, Juan. This is what I want to talk to you about.
Getting back to the gun thing, because originally, when I first got on tonight,
I think that you stuck up for Purdy. I've talked to her before. And I do agree that we need to be black men especially should respect black women. But I have to tell you, if a black woman is being disrespectful, I don't think it's bad for a black man to respectfully say, and he did respectfully say, that she needs to get her emotions out of it because she wasn't
I don't think
able
that
to
was respectful.
ascertain. She wasn't able to ascertain facts. Like she keeps thinking that my articles are not credible. Like it's
Oh,
not a
can
freaking fallacy that
let,
black on black crime is a freaking problem in the black community. That's all we
let
were
me
talking
say something real quick. The person that said my name is giving gun vibes. No, the name is because I'm
about.
41 years old. I'm 41 years old and I have grandchildren like as old as in high school. So it's like a joke. Like I'm a grandfather. People call me Pop
Oh,
Pop.
pop, pop.
Anyway,
Okay.
yeah. But anyway, don't ask how I'm 41 with grandchildren in high school. I don't want to talk about that part. But anyway, um, just getting back to the whole gun thing because I don't want to stay on here that long
Okay,
either. I
go ahead.
sat here for so long just watching and listening. I just want to say I do disagree. Getting back to a complete just debate level, and this might be feelings more than facts, but anyway, I do disagree about the whole thing about taking guns away from black people in general. Like that's just going to stop all crime and everything. Now, a couple reasons why is because crime is going to happen no matter what, and people are going to kill people no matter what. There was like literally a knife in other countries where they have no guns at all and nobody can get their hands on guns illegally. It's like no matter how gangster somebody is or if they kill people or not, there's literally like only 1 out of 1,000 real criminals that can get their hands on a firearm. In those type of countries, you still have people getting stabbed up all the time, sometimes even like chopped up, decapitated. If I wanted to kill somebody right now and I couldn't get my hand on a firearm, I would be able to kill him. And I'm not the
Thank
only
you,
person like
Champion
that.
Fraud 4. He said I lived in Japan. They literally have no murders. Why is that? And that's what I
The reason
think.
why,
There are no murders.
listen. Can I speak for a second? My girlfriend, who's a educated black woman, but she was born in Japan and grew up in Japan. I'm going to tell you right now, the reason why murders and stuff don't happen in Japan is because the police have almost a 100% success rate of catching and convicting criminals. Everybody in Japan knows that. And plus, it's a cultural thing. People just have less of a culture like that. But anyway, people in Japan know if they commit a crime, there's a 99% chance they will get caught and convicted within a day or two. In the United States, it's not like that. Like I tell people all the time, do you understand how many people, no matter, I'm not talking about any culture, any race, any state. Do you understand in the United States how many people we walk around past every day that have literally killed people, raped people, molested children, people you talk to in the grocery store, and they never got caught? But they're regular ass people. You know how many people's grandparents, I'm not really trying to make it a racial thing, but just saying how many elderly people or whatever in nursing homes right now admit to people on their deathbed that they were involved in lynchings when they were teenagers and in their 20s, or they raped somebody I mean, all the time. And it's a societal thing that's not just black. I think that's the point that I'm trying to get
Yeah,
back
but
to.
I was just talking about black community because I have an advocacy for our community and I'm trying to help our community and make our towns desirable and get crime out of our streets and get us to start eating better and getting us more so educationally focused than money driven. Because I
I,
believe if we focus more on the education and then we will then be able to get these jobs or create these
that's true.
jobs for ourselves and for our communities. We can't even
That's
get to the education because our communities have so much stigmas. We have to dismantle the stigmas. We have to dismantle the dangerous narrative. We got to get our neighborhoods clean and safe. Most importantly, and I'm telling you right now, the gun is plaguing also the white community because guess what? I think it's even worse. At least when black people die disproportionately by police, at least we march. At least we cause all freaking world to shut down over it. white kids are dropping like flies in high school. Ain't nobody protesting nothing. In fact,
And
nobody.
see, and see,
In
sis,
fact,
and
they
see,
don't
sis,
even talk about
that's
their
the thing.
names. They don't
That's
even
the
talk about
thing.
their names. They
No,
don't
they
even
don't.
care.
Listen, and that's the
On to
thing,
the next
sis.
mass shooting.
You're right. You're right. You're right. And in a certain way, it's like let them worry about themselves. Like I said, I live in the middle of Montana.
Why
I
are
don't
black
have a
people not
problem
voting for? Why aren't we marching for white people to not be dying by the freaking mass shooters?
because
Black
they're
people
not
are keeping
doing
it
the
on the
same.
hush hush.
No, I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. That doesn't make it a lesser problem. But the point is, and like I heard you say you don't really care about their community or whatever. I
I
really
never said
don't, and
I
I'm in
don't
the
care.
middle of it.
What I say is I have an advocacy. I never said I don't care about white people in their community. What I'm saying is they don't care about they're keeping their schools safe, clearly, because these
Oh,
mass
they have a
shootings
culture.
keep
They have a
happening.
culture. They have a culture of not caring. And if you talk to a lot of white people about that,
They
and a
love their
lot of
guns.
people about how their parents treated them, and situations where I've heard so many stories where people have said like their parents have tried to sue them because when they became adults they wouldn't speak to them, and then their parents are saying like they're suing them because they're supposed to get back in return emotional support from when they raised them, like crazy stuff in their communities and in their culture and stuff like that. And it's stuff that I wouldn't understand. But the whole point is getting back to my whole point. Getting back to my whole point. Um, I really 100%, and I'm gonna stand by this. I guarantee, and especially when I grew up in South Carolina, when I went to high school and my early adult years in South Carolina, where when we moved to South Carolina, it was like where I live right now, where you could leave your door unlocked. Nobody's, gonna walk in your house. Nobody's gonna break in your car and stuff like that. But then 10 years later, when I graduated high school in South Carolina or whatever, it was completely different. Like all the gangs started coming down there, like the actual Bloods and the Crips in the late 90s and stuff like that. But anyway, the point is, watching all that violence and watching everything change like that, I'm going to say, I guarantee you right now, taking the guns out of these communities are not going to stop violence and murders and things like
Listen,
that. It's
I
just not.
understand that. I understand that people are still going to be criminals, but we can't even get to the other stuff because gun violence is more so of a concern than any other thing. We can do whataboutems all day, but is that going to stop homicidal rates in the black community? Is that going to stop mass shootings in schools? Right now, we need to do the first thing that is mostly dangerous in our communities, white and black, in our country.
Then,
There is a
then
public
what?
crisis.
Then what? Then what? Then if you're right, let's just say you're right. Let me say you're right, and let's just say if we did get all the guns out of the community, all the firearms out of the communities, then no, listen. I'm saying, let's just say we took all the firearms out of the communities, and that helped all communities, not just the black community. Now,
Right.
the problem is, okay, so I'm assuming what you mean is like maybe heavier policing and just make sure to crack down and physically take all these firearms out of the urban areas and the black areas and so. Okay, listen, do you know why that wouldn't work?
Why?
The same reason why right now, even though I'm a convicted felon, I can literally right now go get a firearm. You know who I would get it from?
Oh,
It wouldn't be some person standing on the corner in the street. It wouldn't be some gangbanger. It would be a legal firearm owner. I would contact them on Facebook and say, I would like to buy a firearm. And then they're like, I would like money. And then I would go to this legal gun owner and buy a firearm from them. No papers, no background check. This is how firearms get into the street in the first place. So if you want to deal with, or if anybody wants to deal with firearms in the streets in the first place, what you need is stricter gun laws.
yeah.
Period.
I agree. Yeah.
But I mean stricter gun laws towards legal gun owners, such as if I am a legal gun owner right now, I have clients right now, and in their home they have like 50 rifles up against the wall. Who knows how many rifles they have for some, aside from somebody who hasn't physically walked into their home. I'm not saying a person can't own 50 firearms. What I'm saying is How does anybody know how many firearms they have? Because tomorrow, if I go to this person's house and I'm working on their aquarium in their house, and I'm like, I like that rifle, can I buy it? And they sell it to me. Now they have 49 firearms. Who's to say what happened to that one? It's completely up to them to just sell it and it just goes somewhere. A lot of people don't understand that.
Don't you think enacting stricter gun laws, like keeping a limit on how many guns you can own, could save lives, and actually making a limit on the style types of rifles that people are allowed in their homes? That's
The style and the type
that we
doesn't.
don't do.
The style and the type really doesn't matter like that. And to be honest, and I'm not talking about
You do not
that.
need
No,
AR-15.
no. But see, a rifle is just a rifle. Just like that gentleman. Just no. A rifle is a rifle, and if you understand what the point of a rifle is for more long distance shooting. Rifles don't necessarily do more damage.
AR-15 is more deadly than a freaking Glock.
It's more deadly because of the effective range. It's more deadly because of the effective range. It's not more deadly because it puts a bigger hole in you. It's more deadly because of the effective range.
What are the chances of living with a what's that?
Like shotguns. In most places, listen. In most places,
how did 50 Cent get shot 9 times and survive? He didn't get shot with an AR-15. He got probably shot with a freaking Glock.
That's true, but listen. Shotguns, for instance. Shotguns, for instance. In most states, you can be 18 years old and you can buy a shotgun. If you want to put a big hole in somebody, that's all you need is a shotgun. So, you know what I'm saying? Like,
you don't need your guns.
I don't need anything. I take care of fish tanks for a living. But the point is, if we're gonna go as far as to say, you know, you're worried about the guns in the communities or whatever, it has to be on a such higher level. Trying to send police out there to further crack down on people, especially black people, more, and just arrest more people, that doesn't make sense. All you're doing is giving more people criminal records for them to start getting put into a system.
How about this, black people and white people? Stop breaking the freaking law.
You don't have to break the law to be in contact with the police and get in trouble.
Why are
you don't have to break the law for that to happen. I almost got, when I actually did get in trouble for real and I was on probation, one day, a year later, one of my ex-girlfriends got me. I used to stay in the house. I used to go nowhere because I was so scared of breaking my probation. I used to go nowhere. One day, my ex-girlfriend was like, come to the club with us. It's been a whole year. I haven't been out the house. I ain't got no ass, nothing. I'm like, if I go out with her tonight, I might get some. 30 minutes later, we get pulled over. 30 minutes later, we get pulled over. They search the car. There's cocaine in the car. It wasn't mine.
Was it in your car?
No, it was in the person who was driving. Her gay friend was driving. It was me, her gay friend, and her. And I'm in the back seat. And we get pulled over. No, cocaine. There was cocaine in the car. And it was like the driver. It was his or whatever. But the point is, I'm in the car and I almost went down for a cocaine charge, and I had never seen cocaine in my life at that point in time. You see what I'm saying? And they literally sat me on the ground for 2 hours and was like, you already have a felony. Go ahead and take the blame for this.
Can I ask
I've never
pop up one? If you had a gun, it's my idea. If you had a gun, you might have lost your life that night. You might have
if I had a gun. Well, probably not. I've had a lot of running with cops, and cops have never treated me unfairly because I know how to talk to them. I don't know. I know how to get around in lots of different circles or whatever. But I got pulled over. I got pulled over drunk driving last week or 2 weeks ago. Drunk driving in the middle of the night, and nothing happened.
Wow.
No,
you got away with a DUI.
I was drunk as fuck too, with minors in the car.
Her face.
With minors in the car. Open container.
Right, pop up one. I'm sorry. I can't be here till 3 o'clock in the morning. We have 3 guests waiting, and I really want to hear what the champ has to say.
Yeah, I'll be quick. I mean, I get a lot of heat from what I'm about to say, but I'm Yeah. So I'm Hispanic. I'm from Harlem, and throughout my years, I found out we have a serious culture problem. You know what I mean? Um, I've never myself, because I live in New York. I know a lot of people live in different places where it's predominantly white or predominantly black. I came from a place where I've lived around all kind of cultures my whole life. And I've never, or do I know a lot of people that ever face white supremacy or racism? You know what I mean? Are people racist? Of course, we're never going to stop racism, in my opinion. It's hate, it's evil, it's ignorance, and that's always going to be around. Um,
Right.
but we have a serious cultural problem in our neighborhoods, and it starts with my generation. My
Yeah.
generation was brought up on rap music. We didn't
Yeah.
value education. It was cool to be in the streets, to be on the corner with the old head, than to be in school. That's just the fact
Right.
of the matter. And so now I see it's changing a lot. I see a lot of kids now are different. They're focused in school, so we're getting there. We need some more tweaks, but it's the culture and people. So I always try to look at other communities and see what they do. The Jewish community, they stick together like fucking like
Yes.
no other. The Chinese, they
Yes.
all keep their money in the community. They take care of each other, and this is why we don't prosper, because, and I say it again, our money stays in our community no longer than 6 hours. And people hate when I say this, and because people want to go out and buy Jordans, and they want to do this and they want to do that when they don't have the money for it. But that's what we're told. We're shown that having the good things is making you better in the hood. That's just not the case. It's just not.
I have to say, I like you.
Yeah, not too many do.
Why? Because you're speaking the truth? Why? Because you're
Yeah,
speaking the truth?
but
You're not making excuses for people. You're from New York. I live in Connecticut. For some reason, they think every freaking. I'm an hour away from. I'm an hour away from Stanford, which is right next to New York City. I'm a hop, skip, and jump from these hoods that you can't
mhm,
even miss. That have graffiti everywhere. That look like there's
yeah,
high crime, gun violence
and
on
then
a
and then
daily.
people will tell me, oh, well, that's racist. I said, well, listen, I've never had to walk through a white neighborhood and be scared. I'm being honest with you. I just never had to look over my
Guess
shoulder.
what? Wow, that's just actual truth. And some
That's just a
people just
fact.
can't handle the
Yeah,
freaking truth.
I'm not worried about being on 155th in Harlem and two white boys jumping out of the car on a gang initiation. You know what I mean? I'm worried about I'm worried about the 13, 14-year-old Puerto Rican or the Dominican that's going to be Patiao, and they told him that you need to go kill somebody now to be initiated. That's what I'm worried about.
That's how you get
You know?
initiated? You gotta kill
Yeah,
somebody?
they're crazy, the Patiaos, man. So
Where they at? New York? Tell them to keep
and
saying
it,
New York. Don't come to Connecticut. But let me tell
um
you, you're speaking truth. And you're not talking crap about our people. You're just saying, man, there's some problems in our culture to where we care more about killing each other and being a part of a group or gang instead of
mhm,
working on education and working on getting into real estate and helping each other out. You know how many there is a place in Connecticut that literally is predominant Latino restaurants. Why don't black people go to these restaurants and help these businesses? Why don't we help each other
mhm.
out instead
But
of
see, and
killing
then what
each other?
kills me, see, this is what kills me. But then you have people like, and I hate to look at I always look at the comments, and you see people, and they're like, you clearly have no reality, and this or that, and like some of y'all are not even from these neighborhoods. Like maybe you drive by,
I
uh,
know, right?
but like if you lived in these neighborhoods, you would know that there's issues here, man. And I still love my people. I still love my blacks. You know what I
Of
mean? Like,
course we love our people, but we're not going to make excuses for them. And everybody comes here and goes, well, there's poverty, there's racism, and the FBI planted the crack in 1994, and that's why our
yeah, well,
towns are
yeah,
over police.
I always tell them, so they planted it, but where'd you get the money to buy it? Where'd you get the 47,000 to buy the key?
And why
You know
are
what I
you
mean?
selling it? Why are you
And why you
smoking
still,
it?
yeah, and why you still selling it? I got in the game for a little while. I made some money and I got out. I mean, that's if you're gonna use it for a little bit, but don't use it as a crutch and become the kingpin of the block. And that's what happens. We get sucked into that lifestyle, and that's what it is. It's a lifestyle. It's a mentality
Yes.
that. And me being a drug addict, I can tell you that was my issue: was people, places, and things. I couldn't be around the hood. I couldn't be around certain people because those things trigger that lifestyle. and that lifestyle it drags you in. It's euphoric, you know,
Oh
to be
my
in the
God.
block of
I
it.
absolutely love talking to you. I feel like, you know what? I feel like I really feel like this is a real show. I think my show is, let me tell you something. I hope I do come up. I swear to God, I hope you come up like Charlamagne the God. You know how they be doing? This feels real, man. Maybe it's happening. You are the most realest person I have talked to all day today. You know, you're basically, it's a lifestyle. No, I wasn't a part of that lifestyle, but I know what lifestyle you're talking about. And I don't put myself
Hmm.
around that people, around those people, around them gangs. If I go to some neighborhoods, I'm getting the heck out of there.
Yeah, and you know, and I understand people say, and yeah, granted, did racism exist? Of course. Does it trickle down? Of course. That does not give us the excuse to not do what we want to do in life. And this is coming from a two-time felon. You know what I mean? Like if you look at my background, if you go on my page, um, what I did was a few years ago, I tried to, I wanted to do better in my community, but being a two-time felon, I can't. There's
Follow
really
you.
not a lot of, there's not a lot of things I can do. So I decided something that was very important to me, because I was abused as a child. Um, I ended up starting my own community watch group in New York City that catches pedophiles online. You know what I mean? And to date we've had over 30 arrests. We've had 25 convictions. And this is
Wow.
coming from this is coming from a two-time felon. I work with federal agents as a assist. I assist local and federal agents all over the country. And I can't be a cop, but I can sit back and I'm no longer getting high no more. I'm working. I'm doing my thing. You could change your life. You know what I
Wow.
mean?
You know what I
You
would
can
do?
change.
If I had $1 million right now, I'd give you $50,000. I wish I was Oprah. I'd give you $50,000 to continue to do what you're doing. I think that's beautiful.
I appreciate it. Were
You
you a
literally
Latin king? No.
changed your life around, and now you're helping out the community, and now you're doing the opposite. That's beautiful.
And this is what people need to do is, and I'm not knocking a lot of people, but the internet has a lot of people, they come on and they play this role that they care about things, and as soon as they shut their phone off, that's all gone. We forgot about it. We need to stop
Right.
complaining, and we need to get the fuck up off our ass. And if you feel there's something going on and it's wrong, do something about it. Do something
Exactly.
about it.
Exactly.
That's it. So
Well, thank you,
I
Champ. I
appreciate you
love
having me, man.
talking to you. I'm a fan. I love everything
Down
you say. I
I
love it.
listen. I ain't gonna lie. I did disagree with you on some things. I watched your live a little early. I was like, she's crazy, but you all right. She got that. She got that crazy look in her eyes. I gotta get out of here. But you all right. Yeah. That look right there, a little crazy. But I will let you ride with it. But you
All
have a good
right.
night, man.
You too. Peace out.
All right.
Talked to him. I'm like, yeah, peace out. Yeah, you from New York? I'm from New York. Just kidding.
I definitely am. I went an hour over. My husband's gonna kill me. What's up, Nico?
Hey, what's up? I was in here earlier, but the connection was pretty
What
awful.
was the question that you wanted to say?
Well, so I mean, I don't know. I guess I decided to not really get into that whole topic. I don't know. The question was pretty. I know I started saying like, who is a Chinese man? Like, who would you say a Chinese man is? I guess just to like sum it up, like when I said like I heard the name black or white mentioned like over 300 times within like 30 minutes.
You think I'm race baiting? Is that your point?
No. It's not even that. So like my point was with when you ask, like who's a Chinese man, the simple answer would be a Chinese man, or like who's a like a Swedish man. He's from Switzerland, right? He's who's Bad
Oh, it's
Bunny,
happening.
right? He's Latino, right?
What's your point?
And what like my point is when it comes to black and white people, why is it only that black and white people are the only as black and white people as basically like a color, right? I mean, you can ask a white person like where you're from,
Well,
what is
that's
your
not our
ancestry,
fault.
and they'll tell you, oh, like
That's racism in America. They created race to divide us. We black people we don't even know what we are. I have to do an ancestry test. I don't even know what the hell I am. I really don't. What's black? What is that?
I could tell you that slavery in America, people of color, they had history. I mean, they obviously had a culture. They obviously had, things that they would do before the whole slave trade and things like that. So pretty much is, I think, before a lot of, black and Latinos or whatever, like want to like, kind of make some change in the community, they have to find out who they really are. Like their
Yeah, I
background, like
agree.
not
And you
just
know what?
like 200 years ago.
So many people say they call us African Americans, but I never even been to Africa. Oh, I felt in the world.
I mean, I'm from. I was born in the States. My family's from Liberia, and I mean that's as far as
Oh,
I know. Like I'm
Liberia?
Liberian.
Where is that in Africa?
Um, yeah, it's West Africa.
I thought you were white. You sound like a white person.
Nah. If you go to my profile, you'll see that I'm pretty dark, man. I'm pretty brown skin, darker than brown. But with the whole like gun things, I mean, there's some good points made. Yeah, if you take away the guns, there's still gonna be crime, but we understand that it's gonna be at a lower rate. At the end of the day, it's not gonna. Well, taking away those weapons isn't gonna really be the solution. And I mean, again, this is a big topic to talk about because when it comes to things like this, like, oh, is it race based or is it like hate? At the end of the day, all of this division stems from one thing, which is sin. People have sinned against God. That's why
Oh
people's
wow.
lives are so miserable and terrible.
I actually
And
agree with
I
you.
mean,
That's yeah.
and we're blaming the wrong people and we're blaming the wrong things. Most times it's the things that we do to ourselves. That's why these sort of events are happening within our communities.
Yeah, and
Is
that's
that
why I
we
say
need to
we need
stop
God back in
playing,
our schools.
you know,
We need
um,
God back in our mouths. We need God back, period. Because without God, we have no order. And law and order is not enough. We need the ultimate law, the Allah law, the Yeshua
I
law
would say
back.
yeah, the law of the Most High God, Yahweh. I mean, on my platform, you won't see me talking about any other thing besides Jesus Christ.
And that's why
So
I
that's
added you, because I love
first
God.
and foremost what I would say. I mean, I don't identify as a black man or even an African man. I identify as a child of the Most High.
That's wonderful.
An ambassador
Hallelujah.
for Christ.
You're about to give me the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit
And
still.
and with the whole gun things, I mean, I know that for sure. I mean, it'd be easier taking away guns or easier, like maybe putting restriction on them or even like helping out, like I guess people who have guns. I mean, that's really like I don't know how to
We got to do
go
more.
about that or approach it.
But thank you, Nico, for coming. Oh, you guys, listen. I was here for a couple hours. I love everybody that came through. Miss Purdy, if you were here, I still love you, sis. We had a little moment, but hopefully you can come back tomorrow if you want, or another day, and we can re-talk about why we got so emotional. I do the same thing. Okay, this is not really light work here. This is some serious stuff. We're talking about our Second Amendment, our Constitution, in a country that freaking is obsessed with guns. I understand that we're going to get emotional, but I hope you guys know that my intent is to always just bring forth information that you guys should be open to. And when I tell you that black on black crime, it's not a targeted conversation. It's an issue that needs to be abated. Gun violence is plaguing black people disproportionately. I just told you guys this a million times, that the life expectancy of black people goes down because of the gun. Please do me a favor when I leave. Educate yourself on gun violence awareness. Please. Know that it's not only affecting black communities, and I only talk about black communities because I want to help black communities, because I know that our communities are disenfranchised. I know that our communities are underfunded and our communities are over-policed. If our communities are over-policed, why aren't our communities safe? Because there is a lot of crime. Who's doing that crime? Due to proximity. Black people need to stop doing crime. Black people need to stop killing each other. That's my whole point. And we can't stop killing each other if we don't get rid of the gun. It's just, so maybe black people are going to stab each other. At least that somebody can run with a freaking limp leg and maybe live to fight another day. And white people need to freaking wake up and understand that you guys should be marching in the streets. You guys should be freaking upset and pissed that these parents are not doing what they're supposed to do with their guns. And all these kids are dying because of them not doing what they're supposed to do legally with their guns. Stop giving your kids the freaking gun. Because they're taking the gun when they get upset at school and they're shooting other kids that have nothing to do with their mental illness. Get your kids checked. If you guys aren't going to get rid of the guns, if you guys don't care about getting rid of the guns, clearly nobody cares about just abating the issue. I'm just trying to fix it. I'm like, just get rid of the gun. Now we don't have a gun problem. Let's go on to the next problem. Let's fix it. If you guys are going to do it, make sure your kids are getting mentally helped when they're showing and displaying mental illness, so that the next kid doesn't die because some kid got kicked off his bike at freaking in elementary school, and now he's in high school and he's mad at everybody and he wants to take out as many people and he's using the parents' gun. March for your kids, white people. Why aren't you marching? Saying the NRA, dismantle the NRA, stop selling guns to kids under 21. What if we uplift that number? What if we make it so that you can't buy a gun till you're 25? Why is it so easy for kids to get guns? Why are these kids getting guns? Yes, honestly, if it was a Saturday and my husband was off, I would ask him to march with me for everybody, for the kids that are dying because of mass shootings, and the black kids and these children that are dying due to gun violence, gunfire that's been done by gangs and guns. You guys better hope I don't create a platform where I can create marching and awareness and have people that have lost their family members due to gun violence. We are sick of being scared of dying from your stupid gun. We still got to worry about heart disease. We still got to worry about the pandemic. There's so many other ways to die in this country. But I'm telling you right now, the gun is the second leading cause. The reason why kids are dying. It's a freaking problem. Gun-related deaths. Guns in this country, more guns in this country than people. It's not if there's going to be another mass shooting. The mass shooting is going to happen because you guys won't do anything about this problem in America. Where the hell is the view? I'm ready to go on it. We're getting sick and tired of being scared of gangs shooting recklessly. And the gun going through somebody's house and killing a child. You guys aren't doing what you're supposed to be doing with the guns. We need stricter gun laws in our country. We need to adopt what works worldwide. We need to follow Japan's lead. We need to follow Australia's lead. We need to follow Norway's lead. And even China. We need to change our culture and our obsession with guns. Namaste, I gotta go.